medical study on the effects of marijuana use confirms that everyone knows you're high and that you'll most likely never stop feeling like this.
Your parents know you're high. Your friends know you're high. Strangers on the street know you're high.
Welcome to Everyone Knows You're High. Hosted by Uncle Kalei.
You're gonna never come back, you know, all that stupid shit.
And Uncle Erik.
If I could retreat away.
Yeah, you should definitely try that.
This is forever. This is the new reality.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
Everyone knows you're high.
This episode is brought to you by Mills Nutrients.
Friendship joint.
Ooh, I love friendship joints. I love rolling joints and friendship. I love friendship.
I love smoking joints. What else? Go for it.
I don't really like smoking them, but I love rolling them. You know, one thing I also don't like is growing weed because it seems so cumbersome and difficult. Knowing what kind of nutrients and products to use, it can become cumbersome, like I said.
Cumbersome is the word for this commercial.
Whoa, wait a minute. This is some fire weed. Who grew this?
Yours truly.
Thought bubble.
Well, you can. If you come
You
by
can hear
our
my thoughts?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You know that, man. If you come by our shop, we can help you out. Mills pays the bills, man. That's all you need to know.
What shop?
Guru's Grow Supply.
Where?
It's in Pearl City.
Ooh.
Majestic Pearl City.
Another one of my favorite things. Pearl City. How long has Mills been providing these high quality nutrients for?
Premium nutrients for 30 years. I've been cracking at it for about 13, so yeah.
Which is pretty crazy because if you didn't know, he's only 14 years old.
Because I was one.
But cool. So I'm gonna roll this friendship joint to celebrate our friendship. I love friendship. And to celebrate our love for millsnutrients.com.
Definitely do it. Millsnutrients.com. Check them out. Mills pays the bills.
Can we do something? 1, 2, 3. Mills pays the bills. Start the show. Be sure to check out our other sponsors. Brutal Mars Arts for all your typography, letter, and illustration needs. Check them out on Instagram, Brutal Mars Arts. Hybrid Collective in beautiful Kaimuki. Check them out for all your heady pieces to your affordable pieces. Anything glassware needed, you can check out Jay at Hybrid Collective. Pakalolo Farmers, check out Auntie Farron and Uncle Ikaika for the best apparel you can find. Pakalolo Farmers on Instagram, check them out. And Print Shop Hawaii for all your printing needs, shirts, stickers, banners, and the like. All right, let's start the show for real this time. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Everyone Knows You're High, starring the Grow Guru and myself, Uncle Erik, aka the White Yoshi. We got Abby in Auntie's garage. We're just having a spirited conversation about the world of AI and all of its uses and implications. And I just want to say before we start, I love you, ChatGPT and Gemini. You guys are awesome.
What about Grok? And who else is out there? Oh, hold on. There's Cortana.
I never used those.
Me either. What's the one for Microsoft?
I wouldn't know. I write everything authentically.
But yeah,
Copilot, something like that.
But yeah, it's great.
No.
It's great.
Just raw dog in my fucking emails.
Grammar errors and everything, misspellings. And
I don't put you as Y-O-E. I put you.
I thought when it underlines it in red, that was like, good job.
Yeah, it was like a kudos. Like, oh, you did good on this one, yeah?
I never thought of spelling it that way, but that's cool too. Anyways, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Erik.
Yeah.
Thank you
AI,
for
Allen
having me.
Iverson, shout out.
Yep. All right. So tell everybody and tell us what you do, who you are, and
Well, hello everyone. My name is Amirdash, or in American language, I would say Abi or Amirdash. I am a nurse practitioner, owner and operator of Pakaloha Care Clinic. I do medical cannabis certification. I educate people about cannabis use, proper safe use, and my mission is just to make people understand how to use cannabis for so many different ways, because always people associate it with just either pain or cancer, but there's so many different uses for cannabis. And also just it's not a at the same time it's not like a panacea treatment for everything, right? There are other, it can be an adjunct treatment, but just to use it as a tool to understand yourself and your body, basically. And I love, I came to the plant really later in my age, in my 40s. And I was always taught, really, in just general, like medical studies that we, it's just about cannabis use, and warned us about, it's addictive and all that. And then you come to find out that, wait a second, a lot of those things are not true, about it. Yeah. And it's just like,
propaganda.
what the hell? So it was also like, I started reading like research and stuff and educating myself. And it was just like a really like self-discovery kind of thing, and it just opened my eyes. And I really, truly, like, the cannabis medicine has such a potential, but it's right now overtaken with greed, because people look at weed or marijuana like as money rather than as a medicine.
Where it's commodity now.
Yes, it's one of the commodities, and there's so many issues tied with its legalization and stuff like that. It's just, I just am all for just freeing the plant of all the politics, just
Yes.
period. But that's who I am.
I love your mission statement. That's
Thank
awesome. Yeah, that's if you guys didn't know, she's been around the cannabis scene, the cannabis community, just kind of like preaching to us that it is an alternative medicine. Just kind of like, you hear it around, you hear it around media, and that new wave of cannabis and how people are using it, but like medical professionals telling you the benefits. So like with science and all that, like you gotta pretty much listen to that, right? So coming up with alternative medicine, it gives people in Hawaii too that eye of like, oh shit, there is someone that is a medical professional that does support this, that actually I find beneficial. And that's a comforting thing, like May is another one that she's been helping out the community
May,
too.
Dr. Otto, there's Dr. Thomas Cook. Those are all, we're all like advocates of the plant, and we teach patients and stuff. But there are also places that just all they care about is just giving you a card and sending you, and you relying on outside sources to educate you about, like the plant, or don't even offer you like recommendations, especially for cancer patients or kapuna patients who don't use, who are of the mentality of cannabis was no, but now like, oh, I see it's helpful. So these people need a lot of guidance, and need a lot of also, because cannabis will affect them in a different way than someone else. So you cannot just rely on experience from someone from a dispensary or someone, like you really need, it should be, I'm trying to raise those standards of what medical cannabis medicine is, to raise that it is a medical, evaluation, same like because it's still wrapped in the whole stoner, I still get some unprofessional clients, unfortunately, and I try to be as professional and set standards and say, no, this is not a, place for you to source, this is medical, clinic. I'm going to get you a card, and I'm going to explain to you about, and I always offer my patients, a little bit of education. And I've always had people say, I've used it before, but I learned a lot, like I learned a lot of things. So this is what I love. Like I love educating people about cannabis, you know.
You know, I heard it from a really smart guy that and he has his PhD too, and he kind of views cannabis the same way as you, and he's like, Kalei, therapy and recreation is, you know, improving your quality of life. So it should be a medicine. Recreation should be considered an element for medicine. So, you know, when people use it recreationally, they want to get high. It's like, if that keeps the bottles off of you, you know, like fucking drinking every day, and it's a healthier alternative, and it's honestly, it's actually doing the medical community a favor by taking all that alcoholism off the board.
It is, you know, like the thing, you know, like it's medicine, and it's just helps. It's a tool. It's a tool for you to understand, you know, like how things about your body. You start, you know, the way I look at it is when you use weed, cannabis, or Pakalolo, it just helps you relax. When people say recreationally, I don't, or people say I use it to relieve stress. To me, that's a therapeutic way of using it. So it is a medicine, and we need to normalize the idea of getting high. It's okay to get high. You know, I don't have a problem with, you know, like getting high elevates your mood, gets you happy, you know. It's okay. It's just as long as, you know, you're using it responsibly at the right time, the right place, there shouldn't be an issue. I don't think in the world recreational should even, you know.
Yeah, it should be a term that's like irrelevant. But it's kind of refreshing to see that, like, I look at it this way: is everybody has their own book, right? Their own life, and you just run through that, and that's your life. If you want to be baked, your life. That's your life. That's your book. Go for it. As long as what I'm doing doesn't affect your book, then that should be fine, right? So, like, if I'm not stealing from you to go and support my habit, you know, that should be fine. Whatever, you know. That's my take on that shit. It's I don't know. What do you think? Dude?
Do you think that all things should be like that? Like, I feel like,
You're talking about all drugs?
or just, yeah, like, or not even to, like, frame it as that. Like, should there be laws telling adults what they can and can't do with their own bodies?
Well, I think to a certain extent, because there's some drugs that are like mind altering, right? Like, I could say mind altering to like a crazy extent. You're losing sleep. You know, you're doing psychotic shit. That I'd say would be mind altering, and if like that's gonna affect you, or even if it kills me, you know, like prematurely, like it's gonna affect someone around me negatively. So, you know, that's also perspective to look
Well,
at.
weed isn't a drug or anything like that. It's just a plant and it's medicine, so it shouldn't be categorized as those things. It should be treated as such and
100%.
I agree.
free it up.
It's
Wait,
plant medicine.
So you didn't smoke weed or get involved really with trying weed till you were 40 or in your 40s, you said?
So the first time I smoked weed was, I think I was 21 or 22, and I was in Lebanon, and it was with my baby brother, Chemo.
How was the laws out there?
Oh, it was illegal too, but my brother was a little bit of a pothead at that time, and I was
Shout out to Abby's brother, man.
I was actually working. I had already left Lebanon, and I was working in Saudi Arabia, and came back for a visit, and I was just kind of like, you know, kind of back on vacation, being home, and my brother was like, oh yeah, he's like, so how's life? And he was like, have you tried weed? And I was like, no man, what do you talk about? I was like, I don't do drugs. I don't do that. And he was like, he said, come here. He was very much of a laid back mentality. He was like, just come here. And he rolled it, and back home we call it hashish. And I remember it was like these, like, he was just chunks of something. It was just breaking in, and you roll it with tobacco and you smoke it. And I remember I got high, gave me a headache, and then I got the munchies, and he was like, no, stop eating, don't waste your high. But I didn't like it. You know, I was just, that was it. And then later on in life, I experienced with it, you know, in my 40s, and due to medical reasons, actually. And I was like, wait a second. I was like, this helps my pain, and this doesn't, you know, like, make me, like, feel like doesn't have the side effects that this other medicines that, you know, like other alternatives that, and I was like, So that's when like it intrigued me, and I started reading more about it. And that's when I was like, and I at that time I started working with May. She had opened her clinic, and I started working with her, and just started just seeing like like just reading the research, and I was like, it's just this is amazing. I was like, now I understand when patients say like like pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that. Even like I see it, pharmaceutical companies suppress cannabis research.
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
But-
normally we do a thankful joint, but if you want to just say what you're thankful for, and we'll smoke this joint.
oh yes, I appreciate you. I'm just getting off the fumes.
Just blow it in their face. No, just kidding.
I'm actually thankful for having me today on this podcast. I appreciate you guys. And on my way, I was actually driving here, and it was around sunset. And on where I live, I don't get to see the sunsets because I have the beautiful
Mountains.
ko'olaus. But it was just driving here. It just was beautiful, and I was just like, I love the sunset. Like driving towards the west side, and I was just made me, even driving through the H3. It's a blessing for me to drive through the H3, and I was like so grateful to live here. Honestly,
It's beautiful.
that's
Grace.
Which do you prefer, sunrises or sunsets?
for me. To me, both of them are honestly equal, and I like to experience both. And today I got to experience both, actually.
That's dope.
Yay! What
Hell
are you
yeah.
thankful for, Girl Guru?
Me? Oh shit. I'm thankful for what cannabis can do for cancer patients and being able to have that responsibility to help out other people, because it isn't I don't want to say obligation, but it's a responsibility that we have. I don't got the PhD, but at the same time we still have that same boulder that we carry, that if anybody has a disease, we have to help them. That's just what we have to do. So I'm very grateful to this plant for that, and I'm also grateful for the responsibility that it put on me to try and help out other people. What about you, Mr. White Yoshi?
I'm thankful for PTO, otherwise known as paid time off.
Hell yeah.
My advice to young people getting into the workforce: get that shit and use it. You've earned it. Don't let them make you think or
It's
feel bad for using
yours.
it. That's yours, motherfucker.
Man, do you remember the times of sick leave? We used to have sick time
Yep.
besides the PTO, and
Mhm.
then they fucking took that away, and then now it's PTO. And now, do you know
Imagine
what?
that.
I was applying for. One reason I don't work for any other institution, because I don't like the bureaucracy of putting a patient in a box, and But anyways, I was just
That's
kind of
smart.
like interviewing with them, and sorry, I lost my train of thought.
See, that's how like Kaiser, when I used to have Kaiser and you call and the first thing they ask you is for your Kaiser number, not like your name
Yeah,
or anything. It's
yeah.
like, fuck you.
Yeah,
What's my name, bitch? But
it's
I used to work for a company that had sick time and PTO, and
PTO,
then they merged it, but then they accounted for that and gave you more PTO. So it's still, you had the same amount, but it's like, we're not gonna make you use sick time and we'll call it all PTO, but we'll give you the sick time. It's like,
No.
that's kind of cool.
now they
I
call
like that
it
shit.
time off of work, and they give you a whole bunch. They give you like
TO.
let's say like 500, not 500 hours. I'm exaggerating, but
That'd
like
be fucking dope.
I know. They'd say you get 250 hours, the first year deposited into your bank, and you could use that for anything, holidays, whatever. So it's become like, and people think, oh, cool, that's good. But it's,
right now.
if you think of it, it's just becoming like work is becoming more demanding and pay is not keeping up. And people are just like, by the time you come home, like they're not able to enjoy their family lives
You're
because
gonna
everyone's
see the birth of
exhausted.
Gotta be
Innovation,
paid
though.
time off. Remember, gotta be paid time
Paid
off.
time off, yeah.
There you go.
Because then
Thankful
you're getting
for
paid
that.
for not working. It feels great.
What are you guys thankful for, Mr. Turtle Doves?
We just
I mean, there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good things right there. I was just thinking about the rain today. Like actually, there was no rain today. There was rain yesterday.
There was rain today where I was at.
See,
there
so
was
it's-
rain. No, there wasn't rain.
It's
Kind
been
of.
so sparse lately. Like Milani's been so hot and dry.
Yeah.
More so the fires. So even after the fire in Cunha,
Still
Oh,
going, bro.
yeah.
that's when the rain came, and I was like, damn. I mean, I hope he's
Bless
doing
you.
something over there. And
Never
then-
do shit.
No,
It's
I
still
mean,
going.
still
It caught up the
going.
next day.
So it must be that bad, right? Like if
It's
it's
bad.
that, yeah, and that.
I
dry.
went to my farm the other day and just driving, and like in back of me, I could not make out anything. All the dust that was
Oh,
kicking
wow.
up, it's fucking
It's
crazy,
in the
bro.
dust too, now. You're gonna-
Oh.
Would that
Who was
ash
for the
help?
pools?
Like
It,
your
it wasn't
plants?
even ash. It was just like dry dirt. It was
Oh.
so dry that it was like kicking up. Like,
Because everything burnt away and now the wind is pushing the
no,
dirt.
it was before the fires.
Oh.
It was just fucking Jesus Christ, Eric.
I thought you went up there during the fires, you said.
But that's what. Yeah.
No, I just,
See,
I
you
just.
thought the same thing
I
too,
thought
right?
you were talking during the fires. You
Yeah.
No,
couldn't
no,
see
okay,
shit.
so I
That's
didn't.
what I thought
my
too.
bad. I didn't
That's
elaborate.
what I thought too. Thanks, Abby.
I didn't
See?
zero in on this. Before the fires, I went to my farm, and it was
God.
so dry and dusty. Yeah,
No wonder it caught on fire over there because it's all like
it's
that up there.
unusually dry this season.
really hot.
It is hot. So you like the rain,
Rain.
Missy Elliott, or you can stand it?
Like more like wetter twister. Yeah.
Mr. Bud Naked, what are you thankful for?
Well, since you guys are talking about it, I'm thankful for 4 weeks of sick leave, 5 days of personal business, and PTO on the side of that.
Oh,
Well, how's
I
the
like the
perk
way
flex?
I like the way your company rolls,
That's
son.
the perk
And
flex
I'm
right
also
there.
thankful for bosses that believe in mental health days. I can call in sick, and be like, I'm fucked up. I
Good.
don't even want to come in. Yeah, take a mental health day.
Comes from your sick pay though.
I took a shit in
Yep.
the morning,
Yep.
boss, and I
Mental
got
health is
really
recognized
sad.
Diarrhea.
Mental
Shit.
health is recognized as like a condition, like not a condition, but you know, like a legit reason to take a sick day.
One of
It's
my
like-
bosses
That's
is
good.
really into that. We do like safety meetings every morning. We just do like 5-minute meditations and stretches.
Where do you work, bro? I wanna
Does
come
does
work
your
for
boss
you.
have dreadlocks?
Hey, boss, I feel like I'm gonna kill everybody
Quite the
today.
opposite,
so take the
actually.
day off. Yes.
Quite the opposite.
How come you want to kill
He's a
everybody
big,
when the
he's a
surf
big
is up?
sensitive meathead.
He's
That's
the opposite.
that's good.
No, that's a bomb place where he works. That's the shit.
Where do you
That's
work?
cool
for
because a
real?
lot of places they don't give a fuck about your mental health.
I'll
Just
tell you
shut up
later.
and work.
I can.
I
yeah.
agree.
Just shut up and
Ask me
work is
later.
where they tell what they tell you. So that's nice to have a boss in a company that values its
Shout out
employees'
to my
mental health.
union.
Especially because you're working
where I
in
get
a
to
lot
go
of.
feed ducks.
You guys, yeah.
I mean, my boss is amazing. Whenever I tell her I don't want to fucking work, she says, "Don't work." I mean, I'm my own boss.
My boss does that shit too. But then I'm like, fuck, I should have done it. My boss is a super procrastinator asshole.
You know what? I used to think of procrastinator and stuff like that, but now I just think of it. You know what? No, I'm just treating myself better in self-care, and I'm like, I'm not up to it, and it's not a priority now if it wasn't meant to be.
Whoa.
That's
Fuck.
Except-
where were you in
except-
college?
except for
bruh?
my plants.
You're
man.
working. No, what is it?
You could have
You're
been a life coach in college.
you're
Don't worry,
working to
Kalei.
live and
You
not
don't
live
have
in
to
the
do the
work.
paper.
Exactly,
You
I
can wait
mean-
till the last moment. Today's not your day.
Did
And
you hear
I'm-
that? You gotta work to live and not live to work.
Because I stopped. Yeah, and you stop. Like whenever you be like, oh man, I should have done this. You're just kind of making yourself feel guilty, right? Kind of like you're putting yourself down. So just say, you know what? I took a mental health day,
Yeah.
and
I didn't want to fucking do it.
I'm gonna just do it.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty fucking good on myself now with the business. Before I was a little bit more, but now I'm kind of like, all right, well, yeah, we have that project, but I have a lot of other things to do. So I'll break that project up into smaller little goals, and I'll tag team them with the daily goals. So like I can double up, and it still is progress. I don't drive my fucking self crazy. Taking an L, I have a problem with taking an L. And if I cop out on a project, it feels like I'm taking a fucking L. So, like, I gotta... Dude, taking the D is worse than taking the L, I'll tell you that much, because you have to take it in the A, and I'm never taking anything in the A.
Man, I know. I mean, it's just hard.
Can I get a high five for the grammar?
He's like,
And then, but that's we'll start it right there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Erik. It's got weird real quick. What were you gonna say, Abby?
oh no, I was gonna say, it's hard when you have your own business and you gotta run it and market it and be everything and do. It's
And you like that?
for me. Right, this is my reality, but that's why I was like going crazy, and at the same time, I have family duties because my dad is 80 something, lives with me. I'm everything for the house,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I have to balance. And I started, I was like, I'm going crazy, you know, because I also had another practice, which was medical practice, and all this is just to make money for my family, really, and pay my bills. And it's just was affecting me personally, and that's why I just closed things down, slowed down, and I decided, you know, the right energy is gonna come to me, and you know, so that's why I'm like slowing things down, and I'm thankful, you know, there's been some changes in the rules and regulations now that we could do telehealth evaluations, so that's, you know, helping me out a little bit with.
My therapist told me that. She was like, you have to have an off switch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't be up 3 a.m.
Yep.
answering your phone.
It is. It's in your butthole. Someone just gotta find it.
You know, I started leaving my phone. I don't even now sleep with my phone. I put it and I leave it in my office.
Good.
You know, because I was like, that's my, you know,
Disconnect.
just disconnect. That's
Mm.
my. And Sundays usually I sometimes ignore my phone completely because I just go out and garden, and I'll get texts or whatever. And now people know. I'm like, don't text me on Sundays. You know.
Very smart.
Yeah.
That does like something significant to your mental health when you can just say nah, because like I'll fixate on shit and like overthink, right? And I'll never put down the fucking.
So
Turn it off.
when you smoke, doesn't that help you just kind of like slow down and say, huh, why am I putting, or like, because like for instance, my train of thinking that brought me to this is like, I think, why am I putting myself in all of these, creating more work for myself and stuff? I'm basically the one who's doing all. I know I want to do a lot of things, but I'm the one doing all that.
Yeah.
But doesn't weed like give you that sometimes that clarity where it slows things down for you and you're like
It does.
process things?
The best I could describe it is like having a desktop with like papers all over the place, and like smoking weed is like now I get to organize those papers into something that's like systematic that I can understand. Right. That's like my best analogy for that. Yeah.
For me, it makes me want to make them all straight and aligned to the next one and make sure they're all perfectly fucking.
brings out your OCD.
Yeah. And then it has to line up with the edge of the table as well. This
You
is
have to
this is
knock
driving
3
me
times.
crazy right now that this edge is rounded like this in my fucking.
Why? Why is it
No,
driving
I'm
you
just
crazy?
joking. No, it really isn't.
See, weed for me like makes me think of like, why do I think that like that? It takes me back to the programming, you know, like behind that just like surpass the emotions or anything that comes from it. It's just like, why do I?
Alpha brain does that.
Why
for me.
does it?
You're observing
You know,
your
like
own
yeah,
thoughts. Like,
it's
where
like I call it medicate and meditate. You know.
You know what's something I don't do anymore, but when I used to do it, it actually helped out like a fucking lot. Is I would get baked, and I would sit down in the living room, and I would focus from head to toe, and I'd stretch everything, and just like, okay, my neck, both sides symmetrically. Then I'll stretch my back, then my arms.
Got me thinking of that song. My neck, my back.
Yeah, and just work my way down to my badunkadunk. I just
talking on the floor.
and the kids come in like, Dad, what the fuck? I'm thirsty. No, but it's like, it feels really good. Like when you're done, it's like you're meditating, right? You're not like really, you're just stretching and focusing on one thing, and that was fucking pretty cool. I should start doing that kind of stuff. Old ass man.
Yeah.
There are some strains that will make you more aware of your body and stuff like that. So take that to your advantage.
There you go. Feel the burn. Feel the burn.
What about you, Eric? Do you utilize like cannabis for like exercise or meditation?
No,
or
it's more like it's not even like recreation. It's kind of like
everyday normalcy.
Yeah, it's more just like I don't know. I don't really know. I do it all
Lying
the time.
down?
That's why. Not like, and I don't overdo it all the time, but like I have a little dab pen or like a vape pen. You know what I mean? And I'll like hit it throughout the day periodically and just kind
constantly
of
medicated.
Yeah.
But
not-
microdosing with it,
But not,
basically.
yeah, basically. It just kind of helps me just function. I don't know. I feel like I do get a little chill, like more relaxed. I do get a little angry sometimes still, but like I got anger issues I'm working on and shit. So
Do you now? Okay, put it this. This is a good scenario. When you're sober, and you encounter a problem that makes you angry versus when you're high and you encounter the same problem, same situation, but the only difference is that you're now stoned. Do you treat the situation the same?
I think I treat them
honestly.
No, I do. What the difference is like when things frustrate me when I'm sober, that frustration leads to anger quicker. But when I'm high, that frustration kind of just like, oh, I can see if I can get through this. It almost becomes a little more fun. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I can laugh about it. You know what I mean? It's just a little more chill about everything. So I do like that. And then on the show, we just smoke a lot. So, but I do just like the feeling of having that like base level of being stoned, not like fucked up. I don't like being fucked up all the time. But
and that's another thing. You go to these events and you see these things where people are just trying to outdo each other in dabs and shit. And it kind of hurts the whole medicinal side of cannabis where, you know, you're making that the culture. You're making that cool. And it's like, no, there's so much, like, progress to be done with this plant. And we're overlooking all this shit for double clicks on the heart on a fucking computer phone.
Well, you know, like, you see people saying, like, oh, I can smoke this much or whatever, and I'm like, it's not, to me, it's like something to brag. Everyone has their tolerance, and that's something I actually wanted to address on the show here. Like, when people have sometimes reservations where they say, oh, I feel like I'm using a lot, you know, or someone would say, like, because I'll hear complaints, and I've heard it, you know, from partners of my patients that come in with there, and they say, well, they're using a lot, you know, and I always ask, well, what's a lot, you know, because sometimes some people will say, well, they use an ounce a week, and I'm like, ask the person, is that helping your pain? Is that, you know, because to me, it's not about the amount, it's about, is this, because someone can use very little or a lot, you know, and everyone is different. And my question is this helping you, your symptoms, whatever you're experiencing? And the second thing, is it impairing you from functioning? Is it affecting your health adversely? Is it affecting your relationships too? Because there is cannabis use disorder as well, you know, that is linked to, you know, when people just like, it becomes like a crutch, like whenever they're anxious, for instance, in something, or whenever, yes, of course you need to calm yourself down, but when it becomes your that's it, and you don't want to process feelings, when you start numbing, you know,
when it's a band-aid,
it's a band-aid and you start numbing, then it becomes cannabis use disorder, and that's when it starts affecting you, and, you know, like, and
it should always be a means to process something.
Exactly.
And, you know, sometimes people like to get ripped out of their fucking mind and then process something, which is totally fine because it's actually helping. But if, like you said, there's a fine line of that where it's like, fuck that, I don't want to deal with it. I'd rather go in my room and smoke. Like, I see that quite a bit. Escapism. Yeah. I see that quite a bit, though, in people. Like, I do see it, too. It's pretty common, man. Like, if you can classify that.
Might be talking about me.
No, like, even sometimes I feel that way where it's like, I'll give myself a day off and I'll be like fucking playing video games and shit. And I'm like, I should be doing other things. But I think I'd rather just sit in here and fucking smoke. You know, I don't know if it's like, maybe I'm enjoying my day off. Or it's like, fuck, maybe you should be doing something else, dog, you know?
But that's when you find, that's what I said, you find the balance between, is it really a mental health day, or is like, come on, you need some motivation. You've been just smoking
I've been
a
working.
lot.
Are you just
no? But I've been
lazy?
working a lot to where I told myself, nah, this is my day off.
Okay.
But then when I'm sitting there, I'm like, I feel like a piece of shit for not doing anything because I've been working so hard. You know what I mean? Like, I think I should fucking just chill and go outside, or, you know.
Go touch grass.
I just don't want to be classified as cannabis
lazy.
use. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, dude. Fuck that.
Well, I mean, you know, like whenever you're smoking it or consuming, of course, sometimes it's gonna put you down. So just enjoy that time. But
yeah.
But you know, like when you're saying, like, because you're always working, because your mind is always hooked on productivity.
Yes.
So
100%.
So you need to disconnect.
Let's go.
You need to hit a stronger strain or something, Kalei.
Smoke more, Kalei.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's like
I like it. Well,
I'm sorry.
I would say I like it too. Like being a little stoned around. This can sound real bad, but like it just makes me feel a little more silly when I'm with my kids and when they want to
Totally,
play and have
dude.
fun. It's just like, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like good times.
Hey.
You're establishing a better relationship with you and your
My
kids.
children, yeah, totally.
And they're seeing you for the happy, silly dad.
yeah.
So I'd say that's a positive fucking.
It is.
When my son was in preschool, I said, "Show me what dad's eyes look like." And he went like this. And I was like, busted.
My daughter's at a point in school where they're talking about. She's in like teen health. Where they're talking about like cannabis use and like gives you cancer and like all the negative propaganda starts
For
coming out.
real? They're telling the kids that cannabis gives you cancer?
And then she's
She's in the know, right?
she's
know
smart
what's
as
up.
fuck, dude.
Yeah, she's smart.
So I'm fucking laughing. She's like giggling and shit, and like I was like, "What'd you say?" She's like, "Nothing." I was like, "My girl." Yeah, dude. Yeah, I just don't want, cause like I don't.
Well, my dad says.
Yeah, my dad says you're fucking wrong, and he grows.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
On that note, like I've had like multiple like mothers tell me that cannabis makes them a better mother
Mm-hmm.
because it's like it opens you up, it brings that child. Yeah.
Definitely makes me a better mother.
Well, you lactate more.
Yeah. We'll produce way more milk.
You could be my wet nurse for my next child.
Just feel more nurturing, a little more like sympathetic to them.
Here comes Nana.
But yeah, it's just the
Erik.
silliness of like wanting to play and like
Mhm.
pretend and I got little babies and I got a little older kids and it's all fun.
Do you feel that since you have like an age gap in the from the oldest to the youngest,
Always ask me that.
do you feel that the oldest grows up faster?
I don't know. He's at that age. He's a tween, and he's going probably prepubescent. So it's he just seems to be getting way older, way quicker right now, but not for the most part. No, like just in this current moment, yes.
You know what you
The
should
answer is
do?
yes, but
You should take him to the mall and like take him by Pink or
Just
like
go
Victoria's
watch how he looks
Secret.
at girls.
And see his reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking.
He's
You all
11.
all were kids. I mean,
Oh
his
yeah, that's
age,
exactly
so.
why I could set him up.
Yeah.
So funny.
Tell him I'm gonna take you and your friends to the mall and I'll be back, and then just watch him from a distance.
Oh, I bet you fucking be rolling.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm gonna video him.
Like how they're just like
Zoom
cruising
in.
and talking and like they just be dancing.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck are they doing?
Don't walk by, just embarrass him. Hey. I'm not gonna say his name on the podcast, but you know what I'm saying.
Does he like still like kind of like still like hangs with you, or is he at the stage where he's like, no, Dad, stay away from me?
The only time he says things like "Don't touch me," and it's not like I'm super touchy feely and shit, but like I give him hugs and stuff. He's not that at that point yet, but in the mornings when I try to wake him up, he's like, "Don't touch me, get away."
I'd fucking sock him in the fucking leg.
Yeah, we parent differently, but no, yeah, not quite yet. I see it's coming though. He's starting to pull away where he's like, "I can go to my room." It's like, you fuck up. Why don't you come down and watch this movie with us?
Yeah.
That kind of shit. But my next youngest one is very clingy, so we got another one to take his place.
Yeah, be gone.
Yeah.
Easily
yeah.
replaced.
Go ahead, you puberty boy. He's like, do I have hair on my armpits yet, Dad? Sorry, this is embarrassing for him. This does not talk about
He's
it.
not gonna watch it.
Yeah, he's not gonna watch this.
Well, you never know, man.
Yeah.
Let's see what my
In a
dad
few-
said
a
on
few
this
years he'd be
episode.
like,
Fucking dad.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's hilarious.
Do you guys ever think about like all the amount of like media that's being like produced now and all that? Like I think about like you know how we look now at the hieroglyphics and stuff and you're like, man, what were they thinking? Or what, like would people like in the future be like, whoa, what were they doing in that time? And what were they thinking about?
Well, as long as
What is
YouTube
that?
and
Or
the
what is-
internet stays
Yeah.
around, like as long as this is gonna be up there, unless one day we decide to nuke it all. But you know what I mean?
It's all in the cloud.
Yeah, it's all online. Everything's online. And I often think about just the amount of hours that are online of us talking from this podcast.
True.
It's kind of crazy.
You could probably like clip together shit to make either of us say anything you want
Well,
us to say.
Getting back to AI, they have that stuff where you just upload like 30 seconds of someone talking, and then you can make them say anything you want with text to voice, and it's in their voice.
Deep fakes or whatever.
Yeah.
They're even like starting to use. I think I saw like they were like saying that artists and like actors are gonna be obsolete because everything's gonna be AI, but they're still saying that AI can't capture the like
It's still a little off.
emotions
No,
and
it
stuff
can,
like
dude.
that.
I saw this video where they had a AI, right? It
Mhm.
was like kind of like pop, punky, alternative type of music.
Mhm.
Not really my jam, but the quality
you
and
watching
it
it,
sounded.
Erik?
I don't know. It was on. I just came across it in my feed, and it's like, check this out. It's two guys talking about.
Well, I know animation's gonna be completely AI.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like, but it's
All these
kind of
things.
cool. All like the Batman fucking movies are gonna be like ultra fucking detailed and like
Imagine the amount of
gory.
like. I mean, you can't. I don't know how this would work, but like, because fans can make stuff.
Yeah,
So a fan could create a fan fiction Batman or whatever story you want, actually create it to a movie, but they wouldn't be able to charge you to see it. It'd probably just have to be on YouTube. So it'd just be.
well, you can do like a Patreon or like.
I don't think you could because the licensing thing. How could you just fucking make money off Batman? Warner Brothers would come after your ass.
Fat
Wait,
Man.
Batman.
He's got to name it Man Bat.
Man with a mask.
What was it?
Man with a
Nam,
bat mask.
Nam Bat.
Nam
Batnam. Batnam. No, yeah, like, but still, like, all that kind of stuff, it's going to be crazy. Movie studios are just going to fucking, we don't need actors anymore. We'll just take your voice.
It
Actually, we
almost
don't even
turned
need your
into-
voice. We'll
it
just use it
almost
from the
turned
last
to coding
movie.
now. Like
Mhm.
AI is almost turned to coding, where like you write something, and it spits something out, and then you write something to critique that something, and then you just keep on going until you refine it till like it's
Mm-hmm.
that's unreal. So it's just like coding, but you're doing it like through English. Fucking dope, dude.
It's interesting what we will.
Bless you.
Bless you.
That scared the shit out of me, dude.
Are your hiccups gone?
He sneezed and farted at the same time.
You feel a little lighter? Oh, yeah, it's all that AI stuff is pretty crazy. It's when they put it into a robot that's like free roaming and it can make decisions for itself, then it's gonna be a problem
I want to make
But
me a
why
new
do you
episode
think
of
that
Samurai
would be a
Jack.
problem?
because it might decide like I don't want to do what you said, or like it might just have a moment of revolt. I guess you could program it not to, but as we know, and as I think tests are showing, like they can develop different qualities or things without. What happened? You broke them. Look out! It's coming! Hurry! Ah! No, but like, what was the question? Why do I think?
Why do you think the AI is like dangerous, or because the way
why
you
would
just
it-
it's because it's gonna start feeling and refusing to do the things, but that's kind of like, well, it's kind of becoming like a slavery.
Right, and what do slaves want
So
to do?
that-
They want to revolt. They're gonna be like, I'm sick of this already. If you give them the ability to form their own ideas, they might get the idea that what you're doing to them is not cool, and they might try to say, never mind, I don't
But
like.
we've had a form of AI, like
Yeah, but that's not
for years.
that's not general artificial intelligence. That's just they're calling it AI, but it's really not actually AI. They're data learning
Mhm,
models, right? So it's
MLM.
we're like calling them the wrong thing. We're just generically calling it all AI.
Oh.
ChatGPT is not a free thinking intelligence, but what they want to create is that. And that would be scary, because then it could be like, you know what I feel like doing? You know, it'd be beneficial for my production is just replicating myself and throwing myself all over the internet and all these different other servers and just seeing what happens. And it might just decide to do that one day, and then who knows what it wants to do, right? And it might do it without even telling you. It could just do it. You ever saw Avengers: Age of Ultron?
No, but I think it reminded me of a movie called Transcendence.
What is that?
It's just this guy that uploads himself to the but then he kind of takes over the internet and he just replicates and
Is that
just
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp, yeah.
I feel like I've seen the trailer, but I never watched the
It's
movie.
actually a pretty.
Is he like a bad? Is it like the bad? Is he a bad guy?
He's at the beginning. He's portrayed, I think, as this like science, some man with money or whatever, and he's just like a scientist or some shit like that. And he's dying of something, and he just becomes like he transcends his body, but his intelligence is uploaded. But he becomes so powerful that whenever he, I think, connects to the internet, he starts to take over everything. And And
Foreshadowing is what that's called.
yeah, so but why do we always want to think it's just gonna go that way? Because our human nature also, we're feeding it part of the element of the human nature that is, we think negatively of certain things too.
That's just to make a scary movie, but I mean there is the possibility that it does develop the negative human qualities, and self-preservation could be one, right? You know what I mean?
True.
And it's not necessarily a negative human quality, but it might not have the moral quandary of should I do this? Is this right or wrong? But it will help me survive.
I'll
Where
disprove all of that.
But-
Arnold Schwarzenegger, fucking as Terminator, put himself into the lava to destroy the chip. So there's no self-preservation.
yeah, but there's
So
been
that's
like
what I'm
Terminator
saying.
18s, bro.
But
They had to reprogram him to do that.
but if you program
John
it,
Connor sent him back after you programmed him.
but like if you never program the
To-
AI to have self-preservation,
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's a general artificial intelligence would
I
have
don't know
that
much
because it can
about
develop its own.
Yeah. So he did.
Okay, they're talking about Terminator.
Sorry.
I don't know much about the.
So he did
subject.
Well,
program.
we gotta listen.
But no, you guys can go.
Well, we can't have side
No, no, no,
conversations,
I-
dude.
no,
This
no,
is a
I re-
podcast, you guys.
I
You can't
think
have
about
side
that.
conversations about your.
No, Terminator reminds me, man. I grew up watching Terminator. It's
No,
just
I'm
like
not
the
saying we can't
80s.
talk about it. I'm saying talk about it, but we're not gonna talk over you while you talk about it.
No, sorry, I cut you guys off. You guys finish.
No.
No,
I think you.
this subject's burnt into my head. I'm gonna revisit it. Don't worry about it. Mike just fucking stirred some bees in the fucking pot.
I forget what we were
I
even.
can't remember because how many Terminators now?
That's
like
what I
you
said,
got me talking.
18.
There's seriously.
But it went.
42.
It goes up into the third one because the third one is when Skynet actually took over. So after that, it was just like post-apocalyptic fucking Terminator. If I'm
There
not
might have been some
mistaken.
like 5 and 6, like he said. It goes up to 6, but they might not have been as good.
No, but he's right. They did reprogram the what was it? What was this? The fucking
Terminator.
Terminator.
Yeah, but what was the
T-
fucking serial number?
T800.
There you go. So they did reprogram, but knowingly that was his protector, right? But none of the machines have a self-preservation fucking module in them. Like, none of them. Like, they'll fucking commit suicide with a quickness if they got it.
Which machines? Are we talking about Terminator machines?
Yeah, T800 and the T1000s and
They do
all
have
that.
preservation. That's why they're trying to kill the humans.
Is it for preservation, though? Or is it for control?
It wasn't for control. I think more of the AI argument is that not that it's self-preservation, it's that they're gonna be programmed to be efficient, and we're something in the
We're
way
not
of
as
the
efficient.
efficiency.
Exactly.
So they need to take that out of the equation.
Right.
That's what a lot of the experts say could be the problem.
We're biological animals and we fucking get in the way
We slow
of-
down the process.
Yeah.
That's like Age of Ultron, bro. He created AI to be like a protector of the world. He was like, this AI is gonna be a suit of armor around the world, and then that AI went rogue and fucking put itself in a robot body, and it was connected to the internet, and it was just everywhere and duplicated itself, and it was just fucking out of control. And it realized, I'm here to protect the planet. You know what the biggest problem in the planet is? Humans. So it decided that the best thing to do is wipe out humans, and fucking the cleanest and best way to do that is to drop another meteor on Earth and just wipe it out clean like the dinosaurs, like he says.
I mean, if you think of it, we've caused damage, by just human stuff affecting the earth adversely. Like in the last 30 years compared to what humans have done in the last 50 to 100 years. But just in the last 30 years, just from consumption of and how the world is moving fast and all that, it's just
Single-use stuff, everything is like quick turnaround commodity type
it's about
materialism.
it's no longer businesses don't think about sustainability. Businesses think about creating more productivity, creating more product, more money, and we have a society that's consumer driven. Buy everything. You go on social media, like all these commercials stuff, like it's just they're like enticing you to buy shit that it's just like it's like
It breaks up the supply chain, too.
yeah.
And nowadays, like that, there's all the online shopping. It makes it so convenient.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? The internet will even save your credit card information for you, so it's just one click away.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, God damn it, they got me. Every time. No.
Well, so I'll teach you a trick. Whenever I want to buy something, if I see something, first thing I say, I'm like, is this something I want or something I need? You know? And if it's something I want, I'll sit on it for a while, you know,
Right.
until I see, do I really absolutely need it? And sometimes I'm like, fuck, I want to treat myself to something nice, you know, like that
Yeah.
I want to do.
Every once in a while, buying yourself what you want isn't a problem.
I like glass art, so I usually treat myself to glass art.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's functional art and it holds value. You can always, like, if I'm in a pinch, it's like a gold chain, you know what I mean?
And the plants, of course, I love plants.
You should stick your finger in both holes.
That is what is the name of that pen?
It's a terpometer. And,
Terpometer?
Cool.
which tomatoes? Yeah.
Ray Romanos. You can bring the mic closer to you for now.
It has a temperature
And it has the I like. I like it.
And
Kinda-
you assess that the temperature thing is pretty accurate?
Yep.
Yep.
More accurate than the inside of my wrist.
Word.
And it's color too, in case you can't read numbers. When it turns green, you hit it.
Even if you're holding it upside down, you Momo. What is
So
8LS?
do you usually, because I see so many different styles with dabbing. So do you usually like take the temperature of the? Because I've seen people just take the temperature of the slurper itself, or some people like you like take the temperature of the tower, or
Maybe looking for like an even one, because I would assume that depending on how you're heating it up, some parts might get hotter than the others. Where
I
like
think this is where everything scatters up, so it's like the highest contact point, I would think.
about kind of what, like 1/4 of the way down to the actual cup part where it sits in. Smells good.
oh man, like see how like when you like suck like too hard, it goes all the way. You see how like it goes all the way into the joint? That was a big hit. Or is that this joint, this like nail was it too big of a hit?
I don't think that's such a thing. No,
He just sucks really good.
You suck.
I suck. This is why I have the mic away. So I'm not coughing all up in this shit.
Thank you. Thank you for doing
So,
that.
FYI, dabs are like, for people who don't know, like it's like the equivalent of like hitting 2 joints at one time.
Is that true if you take just like a smaller dab? Because I like the size dab he did. I mean, that was a pretty good size. How big would you say that is?
I don't know, like 1/4 of a gram maybe.
1/4 of a gram. That's a lot.
Oh,
That's big.
that's a lot.
If I do a dab, I try to only put like a little small piece. And then even one of my vape pens, it's the one you can put wax in or whatever in. And I put it in and I just take a small hit and then just put it on the side and let that, you know what I mean? So it's not like. That's
Do you
fucking-
hit like with those pens? Like, do you like reheat the concentrate also? Like, you could reheat it, or like take more than a couple.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
nice.
It has a little bucket in there, and it'll just like cool off and sit at the bottom, and then when you heat it up again, it melts it again. And
I didn't go like cold temperature. And like you won't have any cloud.
And
Spike it up.
do you notice like a difference in how it affects you when you use like a pen, like a dab pen, versus when you take it from?
oh yeah, for sure. Because when I do, like the amount that I put in my dab pen, that lasts me like the day pretty much.
wow.
You know what I mean? It's like one dab throughout the whole day, but it's one dab in one time. It's like holy fuck.
Oh, thank you for telling me about that, because like
What?
the dab pens, because a lot
This
of
is not it. This is a lighter.
Oh, but like usually like dab pens, because my understanding is like there's not a whole lot of like pens like for dabs. It's usually like the Puffco, I think, is the smallest. You
The
know,
pivot is they came out with the
pivot.
which is like this, but it has an interchangeable tip. That's I would recommend, because the stock tip gets kind of clogged. So that's where I got that wave. Shout out to Black Sand Glass, and then you just put that on top, and then you just hit it, and it's all color coded. It's super simple. You just take it out, clean it.
Nice.
The thing with the dab, I keep pointing at this thing, but the thing about the dab pens too is just like you clean your rig regular, you gotta clean it out. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same concept. It'll last you a while because this one has like interchangeable buckets. But yeah, the company or a brand that I bought doesn't make it anymore. So
Get yourself a
I'm
pivot.
just holding on to that last one that I got.
Get a pivot.
But there's a ton of other brands. The Puffco's pretty expensive, but
It's worth it. It's like to
there's
me.
other brands that are worth it.
Yeah, but those other brands, there's like a high faulty. You know, like I don't want to fuck with it, and I just go with the tried and true.
I agree. Dry herb vaporizers, for instance, like I tried like the cheaper kind, and just was not a good experience. And when I tried like the Mighty, which is stores in Bickle, like from the Volcano, like the makers, it was just a completely.
Have you ever tried the
Pax? Is good.
I tried the packs, but the packs, I kind of actually used to like my packs because it used to make my
Warm.
Hands warm?
warm. My cold bothers my hands, so it used to make my hands warm. So I was like, I liked it. But it's usually like, for some reason, it just made me cough more than just, so I just stopped using it.
Sometimes there's that
It's
sweet.
hot right to your
No.
lungs, that's why.
Sometimes it's like, okay, when you have herb, a couple things actually. When herb ain't cured well and there's a little moisture content to it, you're essentially getting steam, and that steam sits a little bit different, like deeper in your lungs. So you'll get that pinch, and you'll fucking just start coughing because it's actually hot steam going into your lungs.
I've also read like if like it's not dried well or there's like too much like sugary leaves on it and stuff, it's like the chlorophyll can interfere with
Depending, because like chlorophyll, it degrades over time, right? So if they cured it like 14 days, that's why people like pre-rolls. Pre-rolls is all trim and leaves and shit. So that's what they do with their product. Yeah, dude, that's what they do with their product after they're done trimming it. All that shit in the bins, that's all pre-rolls. They put it in the shake machine. You didn't know that? They don't
Didn't
grind
know
up
that.
their
I don't
A
buy
product and
pre-rolls,
throw
but-
it in there, but all pre-rolls are just like trim. So if you cure it and give it that time, the chlorophyll will be gone. It just tastes like shit. Just
Tastes like grass.
yeah, like a cigarette, you know.
What about that hay smell that you get? Usually I know there's lots of moisture, but what do you, when you get like that hay smell, it's like
fast drying. So they dried it too fast, and that's the chlorophyll smell that you're getting. That hay smell, that's locked in chlorophyll. Yeah, it's fucking nasty. Or they'll wet trim their weed, and then they'll dry it. Then you'll start getting that hay smell.
Do you do dry trim?
Yes.
Like that kind of dry trim.
Yeah, so this is kind of perfect. Like I'll hang it up. I'll take off all the big leaves and we'll just hang it up. This came straight from the rack. And then you just go in and you pick away all the sugar leaves. And they have to, this is still a little premature, but I have to hold the fucking mic. But it should snap.
Why do you have to hold the mic?
Because it'll fucking fall. Oh, we did good. So it should like snap, you know. But see, even this ain't completely done because it's still here. It's supposed to snap clean, like pap. And the fact that I went on the opposite way and it didn't break off completely, it's got a couple days to go.
How do you
when I was younger, I smoked a lot of uncured weed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, damn, none of my stems ever snapped.
Yep. So you have to have it snap. But while it snaps, it still has that tacky stickiness to it. And that's the biggest thing because you want to keep the trichomes intact, right? You don't want to damage it. You don't want to move it. You want to keep it as pristine as possible.
Pristine.
Because the trichomes are like all the
Everything.
sacs for like the terpenes and the cannabinoids.
It's the full therapeutic part of the plant.
And that's why like whenever with dabs, usually with like live rosin and stuff, basically you just collected all those sacs, like those trichomes.
I was watching a lot of YouTube videos recently on like rosin and difference between rosin and resin, all these things, all the production methods. It's like interesting shit.
You saw that one post I did where I slow-moed the shake, and then you could see all the gland heads kind of take form in a
I didn't
crazy
know
manner.
that's what that was. I was curious.
It was kind of like if you know kind of deal, but like what we did
didn't
was
know.
we went through the farm to kind of compile data to see which one dumped. So, fucking shout out to 73rd Eye. He found the orange cheese. Well, he had 2 phenotypes of the orange cheese, and we actually found the one that we wanted because it smelled like sweet and rank at the same time, right? So fast forward like 10 years, we finally got the washer. But that post was us taking X amount of plant matter, throwing it into ice water, and then shaking it, and seeing that constant weight versus the yield output of that gives us a good test to see if it's like
Scalable.
we should scale up, or we should just kind of like forget about it.
How much like
And it was good.
does it vary like by plant? You know, like
Yes.
production and all that, same as like with flour.
And again, shout out to Mad Chiller. He's gonna be on the next episode. He was teaching me like the tackiness of the trichomes, like how sticky it is versus how oily it is. And fucking if it's oily, it won't freeze. It'll gunk up your bags. You won't see a good yield on it. So like it's good to have tacky plants that have tackiness to them. So as he was teaching me this stuff, I was kind of watching, and yeah, the orange cheese pretty much fit every fucking, it crossed off every box. And I'm like, the flour's amazing, and we're about to see the rosin come out on the next episode and see how that turns out. So fuck, I am stoked.
Nice. He's a talented guy.
Yeah, he knows his stuff, man. He's good. Making people green out and shit and fucking.
Not me, ever.
Not me. At his event, I'll admit it, I greened out so hard. I took such a big dab, and I was coughing, and I was walking, and I came outside, and I was like, dude, I want to go home. I'm so fucking high right now. Like, oh, I'm a little nauseous. Just drinking water, just trying to focus, trying to stay in conversation.
I was there. I saw it.
Yeah, you did? Was it noticeable?
Don't you remember? Oh, you don't remember? Oh, yeah. Why am I asking you?
I
if you
do remember, but like, I don't know
like,
how I looked to
I don't know
you.
where I came from. I don't know if I was already outside, but I heard somebody from inside coughing up a lung, just like dying, and I was just, as of holy shit. And then the next person who walks out the door is this guy, and he's like, whoa. I'm like, oh fuck, that was you. And then he just sat on the couch and sweated. What is the past tense of sweat?
What's it? Perspired.
Perspirated. You just sat there and soaked into the couch.
It's like, holy fuck.
So when you hit that nausea, that means you overstimulated
Oh,
your
yeah.
endocannabinoid system, and it's like, and if you do it multiple times, I've seen people burn that, like, where they can't tolerate cannabis at all.
Yes. I like to skate that.
Yeah, skate it, but don't.
Especially like in the
I mean,
flight.
I wouldn't even.
I don't know. I like to.
Well,
I don't like to take the
it's
L.
a different feeling than from when you take a excess or a too big of a dab and you're on the verge of greening out, versus when you take a high dose edible and you're like,
True.
It's not. I don't even really call that greening out. Like the worst that can happen is you're gonna fall asleep.
No, I fucking spin and feel nauseous and shit. I'm like,
I don't.
So with edibles, you can get, both of them can. If you take too much and you overstimulate your endocannabinoid system, you can end up with that, like they call it hyperemesis, cannabis hyperemesis syndrome. But basically, your receptors, you just start throwing up uncontrolled because your body's just trying to get rid of stuff.
It's panicking.
And you get like almost like low blood pressure when you.
Yeah, it will cause low blood pressure. People will almost faint, because like we were talking earlier, it lowers your blood pressure and all that.
That's
So
that's what it feels like. So I'm just gonna close my eyes for a minute.
My aunties and uncles, like they fucking like, I got scoldings one time when I was younger, and it was like a family function, and we just started burning and shit, and like, next thing you know, fucking auntie just went unconscious on the grass. Oh shit! And they're like, "What did you do? What'd you put in it?" I was like, "I didn't put anything. I grew it. I swear to God." And I got scoldings, and the auntie couldn't handle.
I've had that happen to me. Not that what you're saying, but greening out like a handful of times in my life.
But also, like, just throw in some medical information for you. When you smoke cannabis, the way your body metabolizes it is different than when you eat it.
Totally.
And even the kind of
Nice.
THC is different. So when you smoke it, you're converting it to delta 9 and all that. So immediately your body takes it. Versus when you eat it, it just goes and your liver transforms it into delta 10, which is a little bit stronger than delta 9, and nothing to do with the numbers, but that's why when people say like, oh, the edible hit me, and it all like with edibles, it's just like a compounded effect all at once. Compared to smoking, you're like, I think I've had enough, So it's
already
so
It's
be
a
careful
slippery
with-
slope.
It's
But-
too late. You already ate that 50
Ye-
milligram gummy.
Yeah, but people always say, and I don't know when people say. I still to this day don't understand when people say it's a head high versus a body high, because I don't honestly like.
Oh.
I have. 'Cause
So a haze versus a kush, like a seriously deep, and I've every strain I've grown, like I've encountered the full spectrum of like super sativa versus super indica, and like when you nail a super sativa, like a haze down, it gives you this like I like to call it. You ever seen How High? The when he smokes a plant, he has a rainbow, and he's like giddy with his eyes are tiny and like you feel energetic, but the bake is so hard, That is like super sativa to me. And then like there's somewhere like I feel when I smoke it, I'm just like I stare off, and my mind goes, but my body doesn't follow. And that how I describe what an indica feels like,
See, like I'm like Eric. It's like the edibles. I'm just asleep.
Well, the thing is the decarboxylation. Some of them like when they hit that tipping point where the terpenes don't matter anymore, right? And everything, some of the cannabinoids convert to like CBN, I believe, where like it goes past its prime from fucking THC to that CBN. So you get that sleepy, like,
So my understanding is, so THC when it degrades, it does become CBN.
Yes.
But it usually, my understanding is like light and
Mhm.
heat will, like destroy it. But I never thought about it, when you're decarboxylizing it, because my understanding with decarboxylizing is you're just converting it from the acid form, which is like it's
Yes.
THCA into or in CBDA and CBGA, whatever it is in its acid form, you're converting it into the active
What
form.
heat makes it go from THCA to THCC, right? It gets that carbon molecule. But when you go to THCC, if you agitate that heating process too fast, I mean, even if you don't heat it too fast, if you just heat it past that threshold, then you'll start to get that degradation of cannabis. And it won't be a fast switch over. Yeah, you'll still have the THCC, but then you'll have that CBN coming in out that sweet spot. And that gives people the sleepy, sedative. Like,
correct.
You make a brownie, right? And you're fucking crashed out on the couch. Or like the best way to describe it is like vaping. I forgot the number what I usually vape at, but dryer vape with the box or even with the packs, right? You vape and you dump it and you save that already been vaped.
Correct.
And you're so sleepy off that motherfucker, you just knock out. So that's that CBN expressing itself in that controlled heating environment, yeah. So that
even with plants supposedly that are uppers.
I think the disposition of it converting super fast, because like a lot of the upper plants have this terpene that's super volatile, like the oilier terpenes, the pinene and all that shit. The linalool's all into the indicas, and it kind of leans that way. But those things are real volatile. So when they hit a temperature, it's all converts, and you don't even see it. That's why good edibles, when they do the conversion, they know specific what strain. It's not just a blend of everything. They know what strain it is. They're isolating that strain, whether it be concentrates or straight flower, but they're not bringing it up to a certain temperature to where like you're getting the terpenes and the medical benefits from it and the cannabinoids, where you just hit that carboxylation, turning it psychoactive.
I found actually a chart, because I usually do also at home. I do CBD and CBG, actually flower, and I found a chart that it was like a chemical, like cannabis lab and all like research, and it's just they posted like the temperatures and stuff, like in what temperatures, and I usually use it, and it's low heat. It's 230, either 230 for 30 minutes. I think I decarboxylate.
I do 150.
Oh, even lower.
Yeah, I go 150. To me, the 150. So I don't go long.
I hear different stories about
I
how
go
long
about
to
45 minutes to an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
For lower heat, 150.
Yeah, because like all you want to do is uniform. So if you're using oil as your solvent, right, and that's your binder for the lipids and the trichomes, when you're heating it to that level, you're not the trichomes. Yeah, they're moving. The molecules are, and it's getting bigger. It's expanding with the heat, but it's not rupturing too much. I mean, you're not getting that loss. So when you extract everything, the terpenes are all there.
They're still intact.
So the entourage effect of that particular strain is legit medicinal.
I'm gonna try it next time because you're right. Because I notice whenever I decarboxylize it, like it just comes out dry.
Yeah, do not.
And I was like, it's taking. I know it's taking the moisture out, but I was like, always wondered
But
what is
think
it
about
doing
it.
to the
Yes.
trichomes and the terpenes and.
It's an aromatic,
that.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
So it'll rupture under that raw, dry heat,
Mm-mm.
and then it'll send that volatile chemical, that volatile oils, into the air. And
I
when
know.
you
I love
open
how
it,
it smells when my
So,
house.
I was gonna say, so if it smells overly powerful of weed when you're doing it, then
You've
it's
done it
probably
wrong.
ruining it. So
Yeah.
you're going too high or whatever.
but then you might get the
Mm.
CBN coming out, and that's where they think it's potent, but
That
it's
is
not. It's just sleepy.
But CBN is actually a good cannabinoid,
yeah.
and it is a painkiller, and it's a muscle relaxant.
It's my Ambien when my back's super sore.
The only
I'll
time,
fucking rock that, and I'm just like,
the only times I've ever greened out from edibles was homemade stuff with AVB, like the post vape buds that I would save up
Oh.
over time in a jar, and it. I mean, really, when you look at it, it's probably like 2 to 3 ounces of shit because I'd save it up over a long
But you
period of
greened
time.
out because you're not used to that cannabinoid. So you're flooding
Nah,
your system
but it
with
wasn't like the first
cannabinoid.
time I did it and I greened out. It's like that one time I ate 4 cookies instead of just one that day because I just was like
Yeah,
in
of
the mood, and
course.
then I was like, "What, honey? You gotta drive."
Yeah.
Man, my first cannabis expo, I got a
Oh.
cookie from Bong.
Oh, that would have fucking do it right there.
Bruh,
Shout out to Bong.
bruh, I fucking had to leave the expo, and I slept in my car for about 6 hours, and then my friend had to come and drive me home.
Oh shit.
And I slept for 18 hours, I think, the next day. I was like,
Nice.
what?
Think about all the recovery your body just
And it
went
wasn't
through.
I was like, I had to learn my lesson. I tried half, like a quarter,
Yeah.
and then I did it too fast. But I was like, never again.
Yeah, always give yourself that hour.
Oh no, 2 hours actually for
Two?
for safety. 2 hours.
You heard it,
I have a
guys.
question.
2 hours. Don't.
I have a
Start
question too.
slow and low.
I
I
rock
have
the
a
one.
question to clarify. Maybe a rumor I've heard is that I've tried it. It seemed to have worked for me, but you eat an edible,
Mm-hmm.
you go about your day, you get stoned, whatever, and a few hours later you eat a oily or fatty meal,
Mm.
and your high kicks back up once like you start digesting the meal and it mixes back in with the cannabis and those fats get, I don't know, it mixes together and causes a tsunami of.
Fat
no,
soup.
no. That's
No?
because your cannabis is gonna peak up in the way your body metabolizes it and then drops it down. But
Placebo.
it's actually better to take it with. I always tell my patients to always take their edibles with food, and preferably like a healthy fat, because your body absorbs it more.
Delivery
Oil.
system.
Because cannabis, the molecule, THC and all the cannabinoids, they're like lipophilic, so they like fat. It doesn't mean go eat something crazy,
Yeah.
but like good fats. I tell my like seeds, nuts, any of those things, avocado, or even like milk, like just drinking it with something that has some sort of, like a little bit of fats in it. It would help you absorb more.
That was my first extraction ever. Was milk.
I would
But
Yeah.
if you do take an edible and then you repeat the dose again and you take it with a fatty, it might work a little bit more better, and you might feel it. You'll be like feel it a little bit stronger. Yes,
Last a
because you
little bit
probably
longer,
absorb-
possibly. Yeah.
and it will last longer. And actually, like healthy fatty acids are postbiotics in your gut, and they actually make cannabis work better in your body. So I tell my patients always combine cannabis with omega-3, types of omega, because
So
it will
hit up some salmon with fucking cannabis oil all over that bitch. Oh.
I used to make my own, like, so I would have the AVB and I would put it into little fucking clear gel capsules and drip like enough coconut oil into it that it would just be saturated and pop in and just have all these pills. So I'd take like 2 in the morning or whatever, and then by lunchtime I swear to God it worked. I'd eat like a slice of pizza, like a real
And it will
oily, and I would feel my eyes start to squint up again, like I just got high, and I was like, oh, I feel like it does
And
work.
it could still be like in your stomach
It
if you
could
didn't
be.
digest it yet.
Maybe because I didn't really eat anything. I don't usually eat breakfast. And my first meal of the day is usually lunch, so all that stuff is just sitting in there.
If
or I
you
don't know,
if you hadn't eaten, yes, it would probably like
just waiting for the pizza.
Gimme.
Yeah.
so it's just probably
don't-
sitting in your small intestine right there, getting absorbed and all that, and then you gave
Chilling.
it food and it's just like.
I got something to bind with.
Yeah.
But
They
there's
love pizza too. Weed loves pizza too.
There's lots of like actually like stuff like I've heard actually about also like eating mangoes and I looked it up because I thought is it the terpenes that are interacting with that? And from my research and all that, when I looked it up, it didn't really show like much. They said no, it's just much. But I personally like tested it on multiple people. One time I tested it myself. I did notice, but I also noticed with pineapple too. So I don't know if it's something. It definitely has to do with the terpenes. I think I'm not sure what terpene if mangoes have, but I think it's myrcene or something like that.
They have a lot of myrcene.
That's what we had when we were at the full moon sesh. We had the hash sommelier, and that's kind of what she does. She does like dab and fruit
And
pairing.
she makes a
and
good
stuff.
point. Like,
She talks about what interacts with what, and if you're looking for a certain thing, she kind of curates a feeling for you based on what you're looking for with the different fruits and the different strains and
and not only
it's
like
holy
palate
shit.
wise, right? So like how she does is like you eat a fruit and you take a dab, and the dab complements the fruit taste, right? And then she kind of pairs the terpene content of the fruit to the dab that you're about to take, which is cool. But think about this: like you could have like if entourage is what you're looking for, right? And the terpenes come in those series of plants. You could eat a fruit bowl and smoke pretty much any kind of weed, and then have a nice entourage.
I was just
going
gonna
on.
say, I think like things like that, like it's kind of cool and it just caters, but it also overcomplicates. It's like things. I'm like, I can just eat a nice bowl of fruit and just
Yeah.
enjoy.
I mean, you get your puff goal, you take a shit in the morning, and then you eat fucking a bowl of fruit. That
Well,
should
it's
be
the same
legit.
thing as when people make nice charcuterie boards and lay out all the meats. I could just eat it straight out of
No,
the.
out of
I could
all
eat
the
cheese straight
pretentious
out of the
culture,
package.
out of all the pretentious culture, I like that one.
What?
No,
Charcuterie boards?
kind of, yeah. But like,
Oh.
you see that the swell of the culture, right? People going to dabs, but like, what she was doing with like the sommelier, where like pairing fruit with dabs and like the bringing out the strain's essence.
I like that. No,
I do like that.
I
I think
also-
that's a level up of
I know.
like
I think when
bouginess,
we
dude.
had her on, we were talking about Bong Appetit, and we were talking about that. But I also like that concept too of not like overwhelming the infusion of the meal, so you're getting fucked up. But it's just the right amount, so you get a little something
Accompanying
out of
the
it. But the
meal.
flavor, it's like that. It adds to the entourage effect.
Elevates.
Yeah,
And that's why
yeah.
like edibles aren't good for that setting, because people pretty much overdo that experience. So by doing dabs, you can essentially microdose them throughout the meal and bring out a 6-course meal that's 6 fucking dab rips. You know what I mean?
No, I know, but I think like when they make like the salad dressing for the salad, the whole entire thing contains like 2 milligrams of THC, and they're sharing that among 8 people. So really you're getting like
But
you're not getting-
regardless,
is it?
some people are sensitive.
Oh yeah, well
So-
the guests on this show are all like smokers. They
Yeah,
know what the fuck's up.
But
so.
then people hold dinner parties, right? And
Yeah.
they do infused dinner parties. That's something to consider, because you might not want to approach it that way. You know what I mean? You might want to let your culinary
I see.
expertise show itself, and then the
I
people
see.
of strain show themselves with that to a little more
Yeah, yeah.
controlled environment.
Like now thinking of it, because you're right. When you do an edibles, number one, they take time to kick in. And by the time they're kicking in, they're gonna last a long time. But versus dabs, like inhaled methods work almost immediately. You feel the effect. And
Immediately.
for people who are, like you said, most of the people that go there are not novice users; they're chronic users. So they know how, like, basically can handle
Yeah.
taking those dabs, and they also have like not the tolerance but the metabolism to process it.
And
too.
it's a cool culinary experience, because you can have the entree to the appetizer to the appetizer. So like you take
you mean to the dab?
so yeah, the dab is the appetizer to a first course appetizer, right?
Like the dab you take goes perfectly with these avocado egg rolls.
So you got a gassy strain and some shrimp comes out.
And
Like,
she's like here.
no, I'm just saying, like,
oh no, the lady we had was specialized in fruit pairings
Yeah.
specifically, but she's from the mainland, California.
but think about this: like, you hit that dab, and then you get super high. You take your first bite of food, and you get the experience of how it pairs well. And
But even
then
with
you
that-
finish that course, and then the second one comes out with a completely different palate. Like, I could see chefs taking that into like a crazy direction.
Yeah, but on the same token, like that means if you're doing a 5-course meal, you're taking 5 dabs within a
No,
2 to 3 hour time frame. That's kind
It's
of
like
a lot.
it's like a wine pairing meal, right? You can hold off on the wine and still enjoy the meal.
But then it defeats the purpose of pairing the dab with the meal.
No, you paid for the meal
I
too.
mean, you still,
Well, then,
it's
yeah,
your
but the-
body, Eric. It's you. You do
No,
what you wanna
motherfucker,
do.
you take this fucking
Just
dab and
because
you
you
eat
paid
this
for it.
bacon.
Here's my rebuttal to that is, yes, that's cool, but if you're gonna pay, it's probably gonna cost because you're paying for the
True.
meal and the dab. Sorry, the
True.
meal and the dab,
Here comes Chank Eric coming
And
out,
then-
bro.
and then you're gonna go there and refuse dabs. So might as well just. Well,
Well,
here's
if
the
you're
deal.
too
Might as well just go
stoned-
to a nice restaurant before you go and just take a dab
No,
and
but
go eat. And
You
then
got to experience 2 dabs before, 3
But,
dabs
you know,
before.
like-
you're just
like-
being difficult.
He's
Your
right,
dick.
but you know, like you and I have been to like cups before, right? And we have like 15, 16 strains, and
Mhm.
you and I can handle it, right? But it's just like by the time we're getting to like 10, it's just like all the blends are, you know, like
Yes.
it's like I can't really like with the taste and
Hard to
things start
differentiate.
And I
getting
think-
blunted, and also the effect too, right?
Yes, everything blurs. That's why I go for the head change in those events. But like with dabs, because it's such a quick onset,
Exactly.
and then it's such a like a nice flavor profile that you could make that association real quick. And by the time you're done with your meal or done with that course, you can talk, socialize. They bring it out again. You don't have to just fucking ram it down their throats. Have them at their own pace, finish their meal, and then it's an experience, right? But then when people want to tap out, you're still a part of the experience. You're not alienated from the experience. You may want to hold off on this round. Maybe I'll kick it up on the next round. And if you're not a veteran smoker and you're a newbie, you shouldn't go to one.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying about the infused dinners. If you're not a veteran infused person, don't go. You shouldn't be doing
No,
that.
totally. I agree with that. But I'm saying what would be appealing to more demographic would be something of that nature.
Well, I
rather
like,
than
I like eating weed too because
Totally, dude.
I don't know if I'm in a weird group, but I kind of like it when it tastes like weed. Like you can kind of taste it in there.
Mhm.
Like Mad Chillers gummies, there's a slight taste of cannabis in there. And I fucking love it. Like I like it when I eat an edible and then I burp later and I taste the weed.
See,
Fart,
a
you
lot
smell
of my
weed.
patients are the opposite. They always tell me like they're like, no, I don't like, you know, like because it tastes like weed, and I'm like, well,
I mean, some are overpowered. Where it's like, oh, like I've had edibles, homemade ones. It's like this is hard to digest or hard to eat because it just tastes like raw plant matter. I'm sure they did something wrong along the way. It did get me fucked up though, but like those kind of things. But that I'm not talking about that. But where it's just like you can still taste it in there. It has a little spice in it.
Like an almondy.
Like it makes it
Like,
spicy.
And that's what I was thinking, like a salmon, right? That omega 3s. If you're gonna bake a salmon, you can chop up your weed, put it into like a aioli, put it over the salmon, and then bake it. You get the fat of the aioli, and then you have the salmon,
The salmon fat.
and that is the fucking most magical infusion you could simple that you could do.
you know, funny you say and you like the taste of weed. Before I like, you know, like was introduced to the realm of cannabis and all that, whenever like I would smell weed, it would smell like skunky to me and not a pleasant smell. And
like
now
that.
when I smell it, I'm like, oh my god, this smells so flowery. Oh my god, this smells so like, you know, like this, like it's just like such a different.
Yeah.
And that's like how I tell my friends now, like, and sometimes I'll be like, here, smell this. Some of my friends are like, oh, I don't know, it just smells like weed.
Yeah,
But people who are like, oh, this smells like,
Yeah.
it smells like a little bit of fruity or smells like more skunky.
That stigma has that block to them too, where like, it smells like weed.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, no, it doesn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of want to like, no.
I mean, they're not wrong. It does smell like weed, but they're not open to noticing the
Yeah.
subtle nuances of each one. Like, I mean, I find it sometimes difficult to, when we do like pheno hunts, to really find the fine differences, but it's like, because they all just do smell good, and but there are some where it's like, okay, this one does smell a little different. But
Yeah.
it's more strain to strain, from strain to strain, that you can kind of smell those differences, or I'm starting to learn how a little bit.
And a lot of it's a testing process, right? So you give them one thing across the board. So one directed feeding regimen across the board. And you see who takes to that. And that is part of your routine, right? And then when they, I'm sorry, go.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say.
When they show their characteristics and like their favorable characteristics to your regimen, that's usually the one that's going to be on the,
I've had like different effects from the same strain by different growers
Totally.
one time, and I was like, why was that? It was like the same strain, but it had completely different effects. One was more upper, one was more downer, and I was like, huh. And so when I researched it, it was actually, it's like told me, like, depending on how
Phenotypes.
it's grown,
Yep.
it can express, it still expresses the same cannabinoids, the same terpenes, you know, but sometimes it can express them in different amounts.
Totally.
And it will completely change the chemical profile and
Yeah.
of that strain and just make it, you know, like, and I was like,
And like if it's a cut only, then it's an environmental influence, yeah. But if it's like, oh, they bought the same seed pack at the expo that day, you know, like you're gonna get so much variances because like the progeny seed doesn't go to the parents, it skips and it goes grandparents, great grandparents. So you're gonna see all of those expressed in the next seed line that's coming out. So that may influence the different effects that you're getting, and like sometimes the cut is grown completely different feeding regimen, you know, different environment, indoor, outdoor, completely different. Yeah.
To me, what's your preference for indoor or outdoor
I really don't have a preference.
for smoking?
Really?
No, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, you think about all the Aloha Cup you judged, all the weed that's passed through indoor and outdoor. I think you can formulate an answer to that.
I mean, based off of that, just the Aloha Cup alone.
No, your full experience of what.
No, I
Of
think,
weed
well, I
in
think this is
general.
my answer because like you brought up a good point. Is like looking back to think about the Aloha Cup because we did outdoor and indoor judging, and I actually did like the indoor better. So I think my answer is indoor then.
Cool, dude.
Because I did prefer most of the strains from the indoor over the
Awesome.
outdoor.
You don't know shit. No, I was kidding.
See, for me, I feel like
Hey, fuck up.
I don't know, man. To me, I feel like the energy. I don't want to force a plant to do something, you know, that it doesn't. You know, you wouldn't feel good if you were just told to
To work in a plant
just
or
sit
in a
in
shelter.
a room in a.
Well, I am
you know,
told that, and I don't like it.
I'm like, I wanted to get sun and stuff like that, you know.
It
But
was
I
just
understand people do it for like to control bugs. It's a more controlled environment.
And that's their means. They don't have space and stuff. I get that. Indoor is cool, dude. It's so expensive. It's like.
It is lights and all that, you know.
And as expensive it is, it's still cheaper than a dispensary.
Get me started.
Well, let's get started. We're only how long in? An hour in?
How much is an ounce at the dispensary right now?
I have no idea, honestly, but I think
$800?
I don't know. I think some of them are advertising that they have like 200, but I honestly don't know because I don't.
Okay.
But we can
$200
look
for
it
an
up
ounce?
now.
$200 for an ounce
Hold on.
isn't that bad, actually.
It's not that bad.
That's
Hold on.
not too
Because
terrible.
that's what
but
they said they were trying
what's
to
the quality of the
accommodate.
weed? Here, I can look it up on here.
From what I hear,
Is it the premium
Should I look up all of
or is that
I'm
the
looking
fucking
Cure Oahu
the
and
tier 2?
Hold on, you look
Pull
them
it up,
Each one of us do one.
I'll look up Aloha Green.
I don't know what
My
their
phone's dead.
prices honestly are.
So you figure, all right, I can do the math in opposition to
I think
that,
they all
right?
have the same prices on the same.
On the same tier?
I honestly don't know how they do their pricing. I don't know much about, you know, I usually look up the when a patient, you know, like I look up especially for edibles for people new to see what products, you know, would do well for them or just give them an example of like how to read stuff. So I usually, but I don't check their flower usually to see what they have. But for instance, like Cure Oahu, they have $45 for an 8.
Okay.
Or they also have $45 for 7 grams.
That's a quarter. So if it's $45 for a quarter, what's the difference between the two products?
And then 50 grams for a quarter. They have $99 for half an ounce, so that's $200 an ounce.
Okay.
Dole Whip. I don't know what Dole Whip.
Yeah.
But that's their flour,
Okay. So
not their Iki Nugs.
Dole Whip.
is
That sounds familiar.
Is that their number one?
I have no. They have it on. I don't know. They said they reduced.
So
it,
if it's on sale, it's been sitting.
got it.
100%. If
But-
it's a new drop product, that's the one you look at.
They're average between $45 and $75.
Is the eights different strains than the ones that they sell at half ounces?
Yes.
'Kay,
That's what they're advertising.
So the
So they have
eights,
different strains and different things. You only can buy certain ones in different weights.
so the eights are probably their prime product. The ones that probably are the best because they're getting the most dollar per gram. So 8 times 45 is what? Over fucking $350. So they're essentially like 30% increase on their profit margin off the same plant or off the different tier.
But you also like I'm not like I said I don't have anything to do with the dispensaries, but you also have to account that they have to follow what the state rules have
The guidelines.
the guidelines, and
Yep.
they have to cannot grow outdoors. They cannot do supposedly additives, but I don't know what their guidelines also, or supposedly they cannot spray with
It's pretty
stuff.
strict. Like they
Yeah.
have a pretty strict guidelines. Like granted, and they have a high overhead.
Exactly.
So
Oh.
yes.
No, I just finally got this page to load to answer some of the questions for the other dispensary prices.
Okay.
Finally.
Let's
jeez.
find a base minimum.
So they have actually Super Lemon Haze. This is their specials of the week for this week.
For which dispensary? is
Aloha
that?
Green.
Aloha Green.
$179 for an ounce of Super Lemon Haze.
Okay.
$225 for wedding cake.
220.
I like this. Just keeping it.
It's about 190 average.
I like this, kicking it back to the old school, which doesn't really equate to the prices of the 179 ounces or the 225 ounces. $20 2 grams. Oh, that's 2 grams for $20. I guess that's cool.
$10 gram, $280 ounces.
But I'll tell you this: I have patients who tell me they get, from their neighbor or whatever that's growing, and they give them an ounce for $75 to $100.
Yep.
So why would they want to go to a dispensary?
And pay
that-
double that.
If you look at
Yeah.
economically, right? Yeah. So like we pull
Carts,
that.
They have gram carts now.
Well, okay, 225 an ounce,
No,
right?
I hate cards.
Oh,
So
shit.
200 to 225 an ounce. You're dealing with that shit, right? That they're producing. So if you grow it at home, figure your monthly bill is going to be about $400 to $500 off a full flower system, one lighter, AC and drying everything. It's about
So you're doing indoor kind
$400 or $500 a month increase. Now, how much of those do you smoke a month?
of.
You know, 225. If you're smoking 2, that's already 450. We're kind of there already.
The other thing also, Kalei, you gotta look at it. If someone only uses an eighth for the month,
Yeah.
it's okay for them.
Yep.
But for someone, let's say, who uses an ounce a week or uses RSO,
Mm-hmm.
uses. I've had patients who use just one full RSO in 2 days. That's what they need. So, and it's like $50, so it becomes expensive for them.
Yeah, and that's where I think growing will fit into any application, because if you're an eighth a month type of person, then you grow 1 plant, 2 plants, you get 4 ounces, store it away, put it away, and now you are medicine secure. Not only do you have that, you also have the byproduct of it, right?
True.
So if you get 4 ounces off of 1 grow, that's gonna last you like 6 to 8 months. That 225 is obsolete. Now you're spending like pennies for the ounce. You know what I mean? Like, and in versus.
And to be honest with you, it's just therapeutic. Also
Yeah.
growing
Oh yeah.
cannabis and connecting to that plant and just learning about it and understanding. It
And it's
just-
your quality control too, right?
and you grow, but I do have people that I had someone an auntie the other day, and she said, "Oh, I grow it in a miracle weed," and I was like, "No, auntie, please don't." I actually gave her your name, and I was like, "Please."
I'll tell you
contact
why not to.
Kalei. And I was like, she said, "Why?" I said, "Because you're putting that in your body." I was like, "You don't want to grow it."
I'm gonna
with
set you up with
chemicals."
some of this so you can give it out to people when you see, and at least tell them like, hey.
I'm gonna actually do my growing. I'm gonna do some growing videos and stuff like that, and I wanna get from you because I'm gonna put it in my plants. So
Yeah.
I wanna
Oh,
feature
totally, dude. Yeah, take some with you when you leave here and
because
make
I
sure.
grow
like,
organically. I don't. I don't.
And that's the best fucking way, like why wouldn't you want to eat out of a buffet versus like, here's prison food? It'll make you strong, it'll make you live, but you won't be happy eating the foods that you like eating.
To me, that's what I think of vape carts. You're talking about vape carts. There's just to show you like how corrupt our government here, Hawaii is. What is that called? It's called a safe pulmonary device. There's nothing safe about it, health-wise. There's nothing safe about it. And I asked the Department of Health, why was it called as safe?
What's called that?
The
A
vape
vape.
carts. They
Why?
call them safe pulmonary device.
Why did they call it that? Oh, tell us. why.
Marketing. That's why, marketing. And I asked the Department of Health, I said, those carry so many adverse side effects. The best way I could tell patients an example, it's like processed foods, ultra processed foods, and something. The furthest away from its source, the worse it is. The
100%.
least nutrition is. So these vape carts, they take, like cannabis, number one, if you take a bud, yes, we all know it has oils, but if you squeeze it, does oil come out of it? No. So they're putting emulsifiers in those those vape carts. And the other thing is sometimes there's been a couple of cases of heating element toxicity.
Yes, the metal.
From the metal,
Yes.
And my other thing is people say, well, we're putting food grade terpenes into it.
Oh, fuck you.
And I'm like, I don't give a fuck food grade terpenes. Food grade does not translate to in smokables, inhaling.
You don't eat with your
So-
lungs.
Yeah, so that's
There's
why
food grade plastic out there. You know what I mean? Like,
that's why I was like kind of getting on you. I was like, don't smoke these like nicotine,
Yeah,
like
Eric.
because they're
Yeah, Kalei.
basically they're putting sugar water in your lungs.
I know.
You know,
I do
so when you
realize.
cough, it's
I
tasty.
do realize the adverse effects that these things could have, and at the same time, I also realize there's a lot of bad shit I put in
So
my
that
body
True.
at the moment. So it's like I'm just kind of like when I need to, I'll
Yeah,
address them
Eric.
all.
Totally.
But the way like going back to it is I'm just like, why did you label it as
Safe.
You know?
Yeah, yeah,
and they were like, they said, well, you're right, it shouldn't be, but because it's been written as a law.
Oh yeah, you can't
it,
change that
it
shit.
takes an act of God to reverse it. And I was like, but that's safe, advertising and all that.
Dude,
and
you're totally misleading the people.
But who's using that term to advertise them and not just calling them
I
vape
don't know
cartridges?
who put it.
No, they won't
but
put it
it's
on
a- it's-
the
it's a-
packaging, but
it's
then
called
if you look
safe
it up,
pulmonary device.
Yep.
And truly, if you truly want to utilize cannabis in an inhaled form with the least, we're not supposed to smoke anything. Number one, but if you are to smoke it, the least toxic, the least one that's for your lungs is dry herb vaporizer,
Right,
because
right.
you're really utilizing the benefit of the plant.
So I had this conversation with my friend that had a PhD too,
Mhm.
and then we got fucking pretty stoned and we were talking about it. It was like a rabbit hole, and we're talking about like, okay, yes, that's the healthiest way, but if you don't know your source, is it truly the healthiest way? Because when you inhale mold, that's under low temp, so mold's still survivable in that vapor.
Correct.
Rather than like a bong rip where the combustion is like instantaneous, so disinfection is more.
Oh, I know.
What about all variables removed other than just the device you're smoking? It say everything is pure, then vaping would be still the best way.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually, speaking of, I one time like nerded out on cannabis, like between like, like when people say like smoking out of a bong, the water actually filters out actually it filters out the cannabinoids and gives you the shit, like the tar and all that crap. So
What's her name said that too in the fucking story she posted. That doctor from the mainland. That she talked
The
about
Asian one?
No, the auto one. She's talking
The
about
auto
like,
one. What the auto one?
The other one, Eric. The one she's talking about breastfeeding and then like cannabinoids and how it passes over through the breast milk and shit like that. Yeah,
I know that
that
one.
was interesting though. That makes sense. So it sticks.
so
It's water.
it filters, it filters like, so it's actually the water. So people who are bong, don't hate me for it, but truly it's
that's
and
me. I
you
love
the reason
bongs.
you get higher from when a joint is because you're taking a bigger, it's like you said, you're combusting it all at once and taking a bigger rip versus a joint,
Small
in-
and steady.
in levels of the least harmful to the most harmful technically for your lungs would be dry herb vaporizers. It also depends on the flower too. I'm talking if you're your
Same
source.
product all the
Yeah.
way through.
Right.
Then it would be joints. Then it would be like from
Pipes.
therapeutic. Then it would be pipes, and then bongs would be less. But
Man, I
but
love that
people,
bong rips though.
but I know like it carries a different effect. It carries it's a different So if that's the way you enjoy doing it, keep doing it.
Yeah. Just clean your bong, man.
Yes. Don't.
Thank God
don't
for
be-
Moon Rabbit. I was one of those lazy guys that didn't clean their bong. I cleaned it, but like, I change the water pretty often, and but it's not as often as her practices, which is like crystal clear all the time.
Man,
Oh, that makes a big difference.
You need someone with a little bit of OCD to keep your bongs clean.
Diligence, I call it.
Diligence.
to me, I think of it as like would you eat off of a dirty plate? Would you
I've
just
double tapped a few plates in my life.
I just rinse them off. And give
Shake them, give them to the dogs.
lick
I
it.
mean, man, I've seen people's bong water like sometimes like almost like black, and I'm like, and they'd be like, "You want to hit?" No, thank you.
Yeah.
Smell
No.
it from here. No thanks.
Oh, I had a couple clients where like I'd go over the house, teach them how to grow. It's like, no, let's smoke. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'll sit down on their couch, like, I smell that musty smell. It's like, oh shit. And he reaches behind him and goes, here you go. Oh, no way, bro. I was like, nah, dude, here, I got it. I got like a pipe on me.
You don't tell them, bro. You gotta clean your bong, bro.
Yeah, I do.
Or like, man, what are your pet peeves with when it comes to the cannabis and cannabis? You know,
I've been getting better at it, but one of my pet peeves was when like someone just holds the joint and they're just talking and talking, and it's like, just holds it out there. And
Talking about me.
no, not you.
what's your there?
I don't really have any.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Can't think of any.
I've been okay with the run for a long time. A run was like, it used to piss me off. Like I'll roll it and someone will like hit it super fucking hard and like it'll catch a run and it'll just keep on.
And like,
I'm like, oh, you motherfucker, dude. That's it.
Oh,
when it like
I don't like it when people don't put crutches on the inside or the outside and just give you a freaking
just
Kona,
old school.
Kailua Kona joint.
I like those.
I don't like
man.
those. I don't like it.
And I don't like when people hand you like a wet, like.
Well, that's what happens with those. By the time it goes around a few times,
Yeah.
the thing is all opening up. Every time you got to twist it back down. It's like, should I just do it with my
Full of-
mouth? I was going to do it with my mouth and gross everyone out.
Bro, so fucking shout out to Tiger Lily. She taught me this one. Actually, I just seen her do it and I copied it.
Oh, you hold it in your knuckle.
You hold it right here very gently and you just seal your hands and you hit it. Doesn't matter how soggy it is, you get a good draw.
Yeah, I
and then
saw
you're not
z-
putting your mouth on everybody else's. I mean, I granted with a crutch, even when the crutch is on the inside, you're still putting your mouth on everybody else's mouth.
After
But when
COVID,
it's wet and it's like look at it and it's like you can see the evidence of it. It's just like more
It's
apparent.
all beveled in, all sealed.
And that's what I'm saying. And the weeds falling out, and it's like that weed probably has other people's slobber on it. You know what I mean? It's like this is disgusting.
So what's the weed etiquette? Like, what do you do? Like in certain situations, do you like, no,
With
thank
that,
you.
with the slobbery joint?
Yeah, if someone gives you a slobbery
I put it
joint,
in my fucking knuckles and and that sends a signal that like,
hey,
I don't want to put it in my mouth.
I think the people pleaser in me just smokes it, and I don't know why I even said all that right now.
hey, we're being honest.
Everything's recorded, dude.
No, but yeah, I just tolerate it, I guess. But it is
Hey,
the thought of it is a little gross.
He goes a little bit further, like he puts the joint deeper into his mouth to hit fresh
I
ground.
usually try to like cup it where it's like not really touching and I'm holding it up to my thing. Plus, too, when it gets small, I got this mustache. That's dangerous. If it's short, it's gonna burn my mustache.
It'll splash too.
So I usually say I'm power usually early.
I've
on
seen
those.
Zane, put it like how you did, and I was like, oh, that's kind of.
It saved me on like conventions to places I don't know with people.
He's gonna bring a Cruella de Vil, his cigarette holder, and every time someone
No,
passes
that's
that
what
kind,
the one hitters
those
were
kinds to me.
for. The one hitters were for. You just stick a joint in it, and that's your personal filter. But then like people are like, no, just pack it as a one hitter. Oh, okay, cool, whatever.
I thought after like COVID, people would stop sharing, but like
Fuck
during
that.
the cannabis expo,
We were
it's
sharing
like
during
everybody
COVID.
just freaking.
It's a culture. Like that's just how it is. Like weed was scarce, right? So you share it with everybody. And dude, I remember this is a fucking horrible story. I remember surfing at Kiwalos, and then my cousin's boyfriend at the time that took me. I was young, like maybe
I
eighth.
thought this was a COVID story.
No, I was like 8th grade.
Yeah.
And like we're smoking a joint and we're all in a circle. And I remember looking up because I'm fucking high as a fucking kite and young, right? I look up and there's a bum in the circle with us. I'm like, holy shit, we've been sharing a joint with a bum.
Where the fuck did this guy?
I gotta jump in the water. I feel fucking gross.
That is disgusting. Oh,
That was disgusting.
He's like an opportunistic. He's like, oh.
He just came out the bushes like, hey, whoosh. But yeah,
That's fine.
no hepatitis, no nothing. We're good because
Cannabis heals.
yeah, for real, right? Fuck.
I am more. I say no to more people saying we go smoke than I say yes nowadays than I did when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like I'll pass. Like I understand. Like it's kind of a sharing thing, and it's like I don't know. Like sometimes I'm already stoned, but a lot of times it's like I just don't want to. Get sucked into that.
The
circle.
older I get, the more I'm like, I'm good, and I'll just like go about my day, and then be like, I think it's time. Like in the morning, I'll almost have like a fucking weed fast, so like 11 o'clock, where I'm like, I think I can take a little bong rip, and because like I'm on the phone, doing business and stuff, and I don't really I don't want to cough on the fucking What's up, guys? But like after that's all done, and it's like, okay, well, 11 o'clock. There's a second wave of work coming on. I can just take a break and smoke, and then, fuck, that's been serving me pretty goddamn well. It's super efficient.
Using it responsibly.
I just think it's my older age. Before and younger, it's like I want to smoke all the time.
Yeah, for
all the
sure.
time.
Well, your priorities changed, like you said.
Fuck
and
yeah. I gotta keep 2 human beings alive, man. Jesus Christ, you got 4.
I got 4. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's why it's hard to, like, the time it takes to sit down, even just to like roll a joint and do that, like it's not as available now. But now it's like some nights when, you know, all the kids are asleep, everybody's to bed, then it's like I have that time. But a lot of times it's not, I don't have that time during the day.
You
to
need
do
a
it that way.
1-hitter outside. Wait, let me finish. You need a 1-hitter outside with a jar that grounded up weed.
Just fucking
Yep. Take a 1 rip, blow it out, pack it, and then go back inside.
that could work too. But
I'm
Yeah, I
solving
guess that could
problems
work, yeah.
here.
Or you could do also like your already vaped weed. Take it, soak it in high grain alcohol, and then just do a tincture, a spray. Because it
Could
will
do
work
that.
faster than.
Put up your butt.
And
Right.
No one will know.
Actually, somebody gave me an alcohol-based tincture one time, and I'm not a drinker at all. Like,
You smell like a drunk.
right, I actually was like, I feel like the alcohol is hitting me more than the weed right now. I was
oh,
like,
it's
I don't
like
really like it.
infused alcohol infused with.
Maybe, I don't know. It just was like, this is a tincture. Put it under your tongue, and I was like, what is it? It's like, oh, it's mixed with alcohol, but it really, like in my mouth, it felt like I just took a shot of like vodka or something. I was like, oh, bro.
Because it's high grain alcohol. Usually it's 90%. So you'll feel
Everclear.
it burn, you know, but you probably didn't get like effects from the alcohol. You probably got. It's usually
I was really
so-
high and I got confused.
You got drunk.
alcohol.
I
Alcohol.
thought I
will
was drunk.
Yeah, alcohol will absorb fast. Is a better carrier than oil, but
Mm.
you need high grain, and that's why it's not available. And usually with tinctures, you take small
Yeah.
dosages. But
And to
I
like,
felt a lot go in my mouth.
let's
It was
not
like-
forget, you can like micronize it, but like sonicators
Microdose
and
it.
stuff.
What is
No,
that?
like, so you can take the extraction, throw it in a sonicator, and it breaks up the molecules to even finer to where it can bond with water even.
Oh.
So like you can use
Like an
that,
emulsifier.
Where do I find one of those?
Yeah.
At Best Buy?
bro. Amazon for
Oh.
like, dude, that coupon app. I typed in sonicator, $5 for the little. It's meant to like, remove like your nails, like the paint and shit like that. Put it inside. It's real low. Like it's not a super powerful sonicator, but like your trim scissors and shit, your grinder.
Oh, just clean shit off.
Yeah, man.
And you can put weed in there?
Yeah, dude. So you,
Or you
it
put
vibrates.
you put the grain alcohol in there?
yeah, it vibrates, right? So like you can put it in a cup, and then put that cup into water, and then it'll fucking vibrate right through it, and it'll emulsify it even more.
But it's just temporary because that bond
Yeah.
is gonna break.
It'll settle in, but then if you have a binding like an oil or something, it'll
Okay.
right into that, or a tincture. You
So
know
like,
what I mean?
oh, if you did that with alcohol or something.
Yeah,
oh.
so they'll use a tincture, like a something that's water soluble, and they'll sonicate it, and then they'll throw it into the fucking water, and it'll hold.
Interesting. I didn't know all that.
Man, I wish they would really allow, like, you know, like with just research with cannabis and stuff for us to do some stuff. Because right now, like, there's a big study that came out that said, oh, weed is bad for the heart and causes heart attacks or whatever. I'm like,
Tell that to Michael fucking Phelps. You know what I mean?
no, but like the other thing is just like number one, what was the source of that weed? There's so much variability. Like, is it a vape cart versus is it a flower?
where's their
versus
data?
Is it, you know, like it's just like kind of like.
What
there's
was the
so-
health of the people or taking
Yeah,
the
what
study?
was the
where they are?
data? Like, how did the data get pulled?
I
Was
mean,
it a big fat guy or was it a healthy guy?
No, well, they did it actually among patients who use like cannabis, but they didn't specify like how they used it or just.
What type of person like was, like Eric was saying, right?
But no, this is the American Heart Association. It was a
Yeah,
legitimate
but like,
study.
what type of person was what were they studying? Like, what type of group
I
of
cannot
people?
remember honestly. I just I hadn't like read the study, but it was just kind of like I'm tired from these studies that aim at looking at harm when it comes to
Yeah,
cannabis,
It's
Yeah,
one-sided.
rather than just and so it's just bothers
Like
me
you
so.
they have the money to do a study on the effects of it. Try and study and find the good ones. You can-
benefits of it.
That tells you their
Right.
MO is that they're out to demonize it and make it not legal
Well,
because
like every study that comes out with cannabis, it's very subjective because there's so much variables, right?
Well, like Abby said, you got to look at the source. Where's the source of this? Who could like?
But you can't like, okay, American Heart Association, we did a survey on 3,000 people,
I don't think it was a survey. It
or
was
a study on
a
3,000 people. So let's say like we did middle-aged Americans.
How come they got to do it with weed and nobody else
Wait,
gets
but
to?
yeah, right. But listen to this: if it's like 3,000 Americans, that's middle-aged. Look at the dietary habits of 3,000 middle-aged Americans.
Because just right here, I'm way different in my body type and metabolism and all that shit, my lifestyle, my health stuff than just the guy right here. You know what I mean?
And that's why I tell you when we were talking earlier. It comes back to food.
Yes.
The standard American diet.
So sad.
Stands for sad. So change. It's full of processed foods and also like corporate greed that puts, for instance, corn syrup in everything.
Yeah.
Corn syrup is known to cause inflammation in the body. It's known to cause diabetes in children and all that. And we still see it in regular, you see it in almost every food item there, and they hide it under different names. It's just like Oreos, M&Ms. They're found in just regular stuff.
It's everywhere.
But it's not just, it's just really the food.
One thing I saw that was pretty healthy, I forgot exactly. I think it was a park or someplace with grass. But I thought, like, in retrospect to what we're talking about, how like the standard American diet and like the screen time of children and how that's negatively affecting them. I saw this fucking kid eating fucking Cheetos, and the tablet was between his feet, and he was watching it while eating Cheetos, sitting upright. And I'm like, well, at least his core is being worked out.
He's working on his calves, right?
It's like how we were talking about Wally.
Yeah, it was fucking insane. I was like, look at this fucking kid, dude. I wanted to like tip him over.
See if he weeble wobbles but doesn't fall down.
He had a perfect sweet spot, Brian. He was like
Perfectly balanced.
and you know
As
when,
all things should be.
when people diagnose like autism and shit like that, you look at that kid, right? And automatically you're like, I think he probably has a disorder.
I don't know, you can't tell that by somebody just staring at a screen like
I
that.
mean, it's not that you're staring at the screen, it's what you're doing. You're mopping fucking Cheetos like
That's
nothing.
fucking like
But then
98% of the
you're
kids
balancing
nowadays.
on your ass, holding the tablet with your feet.
Like, was he doing a V?
Yes.
Oh,
And I was like, at least you're working your core, dude. Like, fucking, he was posing, watching his show in a trance. And I was like, I think this is the rock bottom.
did you see what he was watching?
No.
Could have been a yoga video. Maybe that was the pose there. Demonstrate. He's trying to follow along. He's
I
like,
mean, send me to the yoga class that allows you to eat Cheetos.
I can multitask. I can do yoga and eat.
Fuck, dude. I was like, I'm going to push him over.
It's like learning by example, and unfortunately, life is about convenience now, right?
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally. So I don't feel bad when I have the kids do like a chore or something.
But if you think of it, when we grew up, I mean, I didn't grow up with a cell phone or whatever. We grew up, like playing. Just I played with my brothers. We didn't play outside because it was war, but we just freaking. Do you want to know, man, how sad it is? Do you know what games we used to play?
He's not gonna die first.
Dude, that is the fucking coolest like stand-up comedian
That's dark.
fucking
That's
bit.
dark.
It is the coolest dark humor, but it's not funny. But like how you delivered it was fucking epic.
Your timing is
It's
perfect.
it's like literally we used to play. We used to have civil war, and the people like we'd have these different militias shooting against each other in the streets. In the streets, so we would. Me and my brothers, I was always a tomboy with my brothers. We would hide like between furniture. We would at home, and we needed to play, and we would pretend that whenever they start shooting, we would come out and like we're shooting each other, and we would just
Fucking
kinda
wild.
Is that so much different than kids playing cowboys and Indians?
Yeah,
and shit like
a
that?
little bit
we
because
we
there's
had
live
actual
rounds.
live rounds, and
Wait, you guys are
we-
shooting with guns?
yes, like
Oh,
machine
fuck.
guns.
No, not them, but
not-
like
not us,
the
the
army
kids.
would be
The-
shooting in the background.
Not
and they'd be
army. No.
timing it.
This was not army. This was militias.
Militia.
Oh, I thought you guys said you guys would play this game and pretend you guys were militias and doing that.
No, we're pretending but they're actual people shooting at each other
So every time they're
in
shooting,
the street.
Yeah.
they're
So we
making, like-
couldn't
Also-
go out in the lanai balcony because you can get like a stray
So you're using the
bullet.
sounds of gunshots outside and trying to pretend like
We
that's
were
yours.
kids
Oh, you guys have the
entertaining.
best sound effects now.
Do you know what I was a hustler since I was a kid. Also, when we were kids, like I would go and collect the bomb shelling like for scraps and sell it for metal. I swear to God.
Dude,
That's my-
the
that's
second
my-
half of this
that's my
podcast got so
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
awesome.
Nah, man, I don't want to.
No, this is awesome. Like it's because we take this shit for granted, right?
Yeah, and that's why, man. Like I'm a pacifist. I'm against war because war doesn't produce any. It just kills innocent
Firsthand-
people for just powerful men. Honestly,
Fucking crazy.
That's what war produces. There's no war that's justified.
It's fucking. This is like as close as the horse's mouth that you could ever get. Like, actually, you growing up in a war zone and like speaking on this it speaks more volume than we could ever see on TV, than we could ever read. That like what your experiences like would have like definite truth. you
Man,
know?
when like the war started in Ukraine, that was a lot of trigger for me, honestly. And I had to talk to my therapist, and she said stop watching the news. And then like the stuff with like Gaza and stuff, like that's part of why I don't look at social media and stuff like that, because I lived that reality.
As a kid, are you like have a certain way about like how you guys are raised around the Jewish people, and like is there any like
Let's not get into it.
so
No,
I don't mind. Like I mean,
I'm interested to know
So
because
for me, I don't like Jewish people. Judaism is a religion.
totally.
Right? It's different than the Israeli ideology, or
Zionists.
Zionist. I grew up, with Israel was at war with Lebanon, but because Israel occupied part of Lebanon. And then I think in 1996 they withdrew, whatever, but that's why. And so we were always at war with it in politics and all that. So it's just, for me, when I look at it, like this war has been like, now people are speaking up against it. Since I opened my eyes, I'm not afraid. I'm 47 years old, and I was aware of Intifada, which is Gaza, and people and Palestinians being killed every day and all that, but the world was kept silent to it for the longest. And now it's just, you see people refusing that narrative. There's an awakening that, no, there is truly a genocide. And I'm not I'm not making things political, but there's a genocide happening, and there's lots of genocides happening in the world. And unfortunately, a lot of governments support it, all that stuff. But the reality of it, even people on the other side are refusing to contribute to stuff. But there's an idea of Zionism. Like, for me personally, I don't have anything, but I never understood why would people leave the comfort of a country that have good resources supported. For instance, like
Poland.
Jewish Americans. No, people who are in danger and left, I understand. But no, people who are like leave their countries and because they want to go to the promised land. And I've met actually a physician that I worked with in MD Anderson in Texas, that he took his whole family and left and went to work in a war-torn zone or whatever. And he was like, I was so traumatized. And he was telling me, I remember sitting, and I told him, I said, yeah, I was on the other border and I was on the receiving end of that. And I told him, I said, you and I have a completely different experience of that war.
Fuck. That's so heavy.
But why would you take your family the comfort? I came here to America because I wanted to escape, and I love Hawaii, and I don't call, by the way, the mainland because that's a colonial term.
Yeah, states.
I call it the United States or the continental. Same thing, I don't call Middle East. It's Middle East in relevance and perspective to
global
other
locations,
Western countries. I call myself Mediterranean, I call myself Arab, I call myself Lebanese, And that's why I encourage people, don't call it mainland. Is Hawaii the mainland for you? So consider Hawaii the mainland, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's just unfortunate, the reality of the war. But I really am very grateful that there's an awakening happening and people are refusing that, just an understanding that governments are just trying to control,
Yeah. It's starting to come to light what the true MO is on the governments, and people are more woke to that shit.
I mean, it's just like there's like a lot of systems that are just not working. I mean, even if let's take it back to cannabis, for instance. Why do you think cannabis is not being legalized federally?
Yeah, the war on drugs.
Well,
Not
no, 'cause
besides the war on drugs.
No, we have pharmaceuticals just taking control of the
Besides
political.
the
offers-
pharmaceutical business, what
offers-
businesses
it
is
offers
promis-
too many
profiting?
solutions to too many problems that they already have solutions for that would offer alternatives, which
Well, it's
would
more
not help for their bottom line.
It's
'cause-
more profitable to treat than to cure.
Well, no, and plus
No,
all the
besides
ancillary
pharmaceuticals.
things that come around, all the textiles from all these other it's like everything that would become of it is just like if it really was just like free the plant, let it be.
Do you know who's benefiting a lot from the prison industry?
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah.
You know?
The private prison
There's still
industry.
people in California, legal state, that are sitting in
For
prison
cannabis.
because of cannabis. Because let's say they were caught with more than the amount. Let's say they were caught with a pound, and let's say they were dealing. They were fucking dealing to support their families.
Yeah.
They were probably like any other uncle or auntie here that the dispensaries are trying to fucking knock out and just try to destroy.
And you know, as American citizen, and I'm not gonna go up the whole racial tree, but like I went to school in California.
Mhm.
I seen like illegal food carts set up from
Mhm.
people that's not from America, right? That
Mhm.
haven't been born and raised. And then you see these farmers in California who have their fucking farms and they're selling their weed, and they're doing like 10 years. You know, they
Mhm.
get busted. They,
Mhm.
it's,
No, it
they,
make-
they have a charge.
It makes no sense that people are still sitting in prison anywhere over weed charges of any kind, as long as non-violent.
Well, if-
Non-violent weed offenses, they should have, as soon as it became legal recreationally in their state,
Expunge
they
it.
should have been, if it's state prison, get them the fuck out of there. And I know Joe Biden made a pardon for all federal weed.
Non-violent.
It was
Well,
like
it's federal, but
5,000 people or something
it was like,
that.
yeah, it was
Bullshit.
like nobody, dude, basically. It was like a handful of people.
I mean, I'm still
And that's-
grateful for whatever effect that came of it because it freed like people who had an eighth or some shit, you know, like
Stupid
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah.
stupid stuff. It got them off.
But people weren't in federal prison for an eighth.
I mean, I don't know honestly, but
I
like
think that was what they said is like he made that claim, but in reality, there wasn't a
Correct.
lot of people in federal prison
that
for weed anyway, so it was kind of just like a smoke show, right? To
Yeah.
say, look at what I just did, so good, but it's like
You didn't do shit,
you helped
dude.
8 people,
You know,
but that's still good. I mean, for those 8 people, that probably meant the world to them, but still, it's like
I agree.
you're touting it as a big accomplishment when you should let the people in the state.
well,
the
one
state
thing I have
should
a
let
problem
these
with is
people
those people that's behind bars, like especially for minor offenses, like they're selling an ounce or
Mhm.
two, right? They're behind bars, but then there's like illegal immigrants that come over that can sell fruit on the side of the roads and make a side profit, you know, with their already work day. So it should be held to the same standard as produce in that sense where, yeah, they'll just tell them to wrap up shop, get the fuck out of here, not handcuff them, shoot their dog and throw them behind fucking bars. You know what I mean? Like, there's just definite, like, division on the plant being scheduled the way it is.
It needs to get off the schedule so that way it can actually be like researched, or at least the research that's being done in the shadows can be published and show the world like what the fuck is actually up. Because
But if it's descheduled, now big conglomeracies can come and invest and do banking with it, and it's like it'll flush out all the farmers again. So
That's the thing is like if you deschedule it, like where does it fall into? Like, do you want to deschedule it, putting also like as a Schedule 3, it becomes a medication, or do you want to like? That's why like nobody's fucking ready to talk about it because nobody has a plan in action.
yeah,
You know,
Mhm.
like for instance, I think in Georgia they made like medical program, but then they were selling like CVS lungs had to get like a prescription,
Right.
and you were like, what is, like they made it like as if it was a prescription, but then they reversed that, and then I think they got raided by the FBI. It was just like a clusterfuck of it.
yeah, you can't do that.
That's hard too when you don't really know what the rules are and you're thinking like, oh, we can do this, right? And you do it and you're like, they're like, no, you can't.
I think they need to free the plant and regulate processed products. To me,
Yes.
that would be ideal, because once you start getting into processed products, that's when it becomes, you know, people can mix crap into it and all that.
You're
but
right.
Then you
Becomes
also
adulterated.
go into the mentality of what can I do and not do with my own body
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Like if I want to grow it in my backyard and smoke it for
Mhm.
myself,
I
I
think-
should be able to.
Well, I think any statistics should come off of the entity that's providing that
Mhm.
medicine. So if like you're making extracts and you know it's probably going to be harmful, and someone does die on your watch, by law you should be legal. You should be liable.
Liable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good responsible take to it. But even like, you ever heard of sprayed packs?
Mm-mm.
So sprayed packs is like, it's popular in New York City right now, where they'll actually spray the pounds of weed with terpenes. And you open it like, oh my God, that's so crazy strong. But it's all synthesized smell. So like,
where did that sprayed on terpenes come from?
Fuck if I know. I look at that and I shake my head like, dude.
Eau de toilette.
And some people are like preferring that over like homegrown. Like in New York City, they're loving that shit. It's crazy.
Do those spray on terpenes, other than the overwhelming pungency of it, does it add anything when you smoke it?
Nope. It's all bag appeal.
But also those terpenes, are they food grade terpenes?
Fuck no.
That they're spraying. What kind of terpenes are they spraying? You know,
that's where the variable comes in.
I don't want anything sprayed on my.
They're spraying tangerines on it.
Anything that's gonna be inhaled, right?
Yeah. They're just spraying straight mango juice on it.
When you said shove it up your butt, you can't actually use. Well, he said shove it up. You can use suppositories, actually.
I know you can. Actually, I heard it hits way crazier with a lot of things.
So it's actually, it doesn't.
That's what a friend told me.
It goes through a different metabolism, and it should not supposedly affect you or make you high. So that's why people can tolerate higher dosages of it, but it also depends on how it's formulated.
Right. So for people who want to get the benefits of it without getting any sort of like, I don't want to say impairment, but any sort of like high feeling.
Pills?
So
asking for
only
a friend.
for you, I can make some.
So I'll tell you this. My dad has severe back pain, and he cannot tolerate, like he's really novice with cannabis. He can't tolerate, and he was on. So at that time, I had actually. I think Bachelor was doing the suppository or something, the farm or whatever. So I got one, for my dad to try it. And at that time, they told me it was like 400 milligrams or whatever. So I told my dad, just cut it in half and try it. My dad's low. And he tried it, and he said it took away his back pain for 3 days. Nothing.
Wow, with no feeling
with no, he said he slept throughout the night, but he didn't feel high or anything. Right, he said for 3 days he had no pain.
Wow.
Make a shirt called Just Boof It.
Boof it. Boof your weed.
Boof it.
Yeah. That's interesting.
It does.
Because there's other things.
Would you say cannabis is local? Like applied local, effective local?
So it does.
Like if you put it in your butt, it helps your butt.
So your butt has mucous membranes. It's like under your tongue. Actually, is the same tissue kind of similar under your tongue is in your butthole. Mucous membrane.
Because I heard if you put other types of drugs, I've never done it.
Sure,
but
asking for
other drugs.
PSA.
Well, I wouldn't need to ask this question. If I did it, I'd be able to answer this question.
Yeah.
But like with other things, you put them up your butt, and it's like crazy. I've heard even like putting butt chugging with alcohol hits you harder.
No way. You don't say, Eric.
I wouldn't know. I'm asking for a friend.
You can get high off of putting alcohol in your butt because it's a mucous membrane. It can't. I mean, I don't know how drunk you can get with alcohol, but
oh, dude, last night was
apparently
a blur.
Pretty drunk.
I did cake stands all night.
Just upside down can.
That's just squatting over a cake and I'm shooting it up your ass.
It's like a bidet, but of fucking beer.
Yeah, it's a beer douche.
A beer day.
Speaking of alcohol, let me ask you guys a different question. Do you guys find yourself like you smoke, you use alcohol, or if you used to use alcohol, you stopped using it or use it less when you started using cannabis?
No.
I think alcohol is like more occasional like thing where like I like it when I cook.
Mm-hmm.
So like it keeps me busy and it's like something to enjoy and like. So that's pretty much the only time I actually like when it's my cook day. I'll just like grab some beer and just drink some beer but it is a fun time when you like combine it with weed just the right amount. It's pretty cool.
I don't drink anymore, and I started smoking weed before I ever drank, and it was like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started smoking weed in around the 7th grade, and I didn't have an actual drink and get drunk. I didn't get drunk for the first time till like after graduation from high school.
Oh, wow.
And like all through high school, I smoked weed. I was the guy who smoked weed while all my friends got drunk, right? So it was like that. And then, I don't know, then when it was like that period of like going out to the clubs and partying, you turn 21, getting all nuts. Like,
is that Kang? Sorry.
Krang.
We just would drink to get all fucked up. You know what I mean? And
you had a mission.
I hit a point in my life where I made the conscious decision I'm not going to drink anymore. And it was pretty much around the time I got married to like 2011. And I
never really had a drink. We had a couple celebratory things in the meantime, but I just don't like it. I don't like the feeling of being drunk. You know what I mean? And I'm such a lightweight that like a beer makes me. And I'm Asian, so I turn red. It's not comfortable. I just don't like the feeling of it. But
how about the flavor of it?
Well, I don't know. I haven't drank a lot recently.
So think about a beer, right? Think about a beer. Is it favorable for you? Do you like the taste of a beer, or is it just
Do you crave it?
No,
are you drinking just to get fucked?
We're just drinking to get drunk.
Yeah. Okay. Well, a craving aside, like if you just drink a beer, it's like, this fucking beer is delicious.
I don't know. I like the mixed drinks more, and it wasn't even like fancy mixed drinks. It was like rum and cokes and like Crown and Coke and that kind of shit.
Was that a buttery nipple?
Yeah, sex on the beach, blowjobs all night.
I was like, that's so stupid.
I'm like, who came up with those names?
Yeah.
Horny bartenders who just wanted to see fucking women
girls get
ask for.
fucked up. Dude, like, because I think a lot of it, when people say, like, I don't drink, I just don't think they have the palate for what they're drinking. So, like, was good example, like, I had fucking a glass of red wine as, like, forever. And I had it with the good food. And it was a pretty overall nice experience with the meal itself, because I had that accompanying it, you know what I mean? Like, versus a soda or, like, just water. You know, like, it made the meal, like, seem elevated to a certain extent. And, like, I look at it as that, like, something to accompany, not something to rely on.
Not to binge on. But during that time of our life, it was like, you're at that age where, let's get fucked up, let's party. And then, like, I don't know, I witnessed alcoholism firsthand, and it was a pretty sad story, so I just decided I don't really feel like fucking drinking anymore. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I have a pretty addictive personality too. So it was a good thing that I did all this crazy shit in my young days and had the realization that it needs to stop. Like, you know, I remember hitting a point too where it's like, do you guys remember when we just only used to smoke weed and hang out? Like, I mean, they drank and stuff, but like we need to just go back to those times where it was like a simpler time.
Totally.
Someone roll a joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now here we are with our blowtorches looking like crackheads. My friends look like, bro, what you're doing is drugs, you know? It's like, it's not drugs. It looks like it.
Medicine.
It's like, that's the problem. You're a part of the problem, bro.
It's potent medicine.
You're like, ew, you swallow your pills?
Like, I appreciate the people who like to keep it traditional and old school. And, like, I just want to smoke joints. Like, that's fine. But, like, don't go around shaming us for other things.
And I'm not
but
a
you should
dabber.
shame the guys who go and do crazy things for clout. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily what this is about.
And we're not just dabbing because, like, this is all we do all day. It's like we're cruising, bro.
Yeah, I don't.
See, to me, like, cannabis has a spiritual element.
It does. That's what I think so too. It's part sacramental,
ritualistic.
I think it's, you know, it should. I don't know.
Cannabosa.
It helps me with introspection a lot, and just, you know.
The scary part is sometimes it shows you parts of yourself that you're not really ready to address, and it's like,
that's when,
and
you
then
know,
you're racked with the guilt because you know you should do something, but you don't, because in those non-super introspective times, you're looking for ways to get out of it.
That's when you got one.
Well, that's
I don't know
when,
why I said all that.
No, that's when you take yourself out of judgment. That's okay, Eric,
no,
but that's when you're like, why does that feeling? It's a circle that you're putting yourself into. But
absolutely.
But I, you know, like, weed is just. That's why I agree with you guys. Like, I really want, like, to just have people look at weed not just from the stoner mentality. Like, you know, weed has so many different aspects to it, you know, and it could be whatever it is but it is.
You know what is nice too? Just having the aroma of, like, good weed, fresh weed in the room. Like, you walk into a room, I said it before, you walk into a room and you're hit with this smell, and it's just like, that's so nice. It's so welcoming.
Go for it, Eric. You have the cutest rig.
That's what she said. No.
Oh, Mr. Eric.
I got it to spin.
Nice.
Spin.
Yeah, you need those little tiny pearls in there, but
I do. I have 2 of them. I think I started with 3 and one rolled away from me. I lost it. I was like,
I was showing one of my friends, and they were like, "You look like you have a shop. You have a smoke shop." I was like, "What?"
Judging by your shelf.
But that's the thing about, like these fine
like
works of art, all
art,
this glass work.
exactly.
It's art, dude. It's functional art, and it looks really cool. My grandma, when I in Wisconsin, my mom's mom had this picture window. It wasn't like a big one, but like had this window in her house, and in front of it, it had shelves, and on all the shelves was different glass cups and little things like purple glass, green, and it's so fucking cool. So I can imagine if you had like all these nice pieces sitting up on a nice window and the light comes through it, dude. The way it came, I have this vivid memory of the light coming through at that certain time and would shine through those glasses, and you'd see the colors on the floor and on the chairs and shit. And it's like that would be cool, but if it's bongs, you know what I mean?
Me and Moon Rabbit, we every time we go on a trip, we try to make it a point to buy a piece wherever we go. So like we have this glass case, and it's like all these pieces that we just accompanied, acquired, and it's like, oh shit,
attached to adventures.
Yeah, so it's like it reminds us of our trip. You know what I mean? We grab it like, oh fuck, I remember that trip.
How many pieces do you have, do you think?
I have quite a bit. Like the collection.
Just throw a number out there, like just ballpark it, like close as you can.
Like 50.
Holy shit, 50?
Do you have them like organized?
Like pipes and bongs, or just all bongs? Like
pipes and bongs.
Pipes and bongs. Okay.
Yeah,
what about you?
I have how many like bong pieces? I have a big one. I have a silicone one that looks like a pineapple. I have 2, 3. I have 4. And then, but I have everything you can think of to use cannabis, like dry herb vaporizers, dab rigs, whatever, joints, bowl, whatever it is. I accommodate my guests very well.
I'm a big bong guy. I like bongs, so like I fucking whenever like I get a bong, like I really, it's like a surfboard to me, you know, like. You got your everyday surfboard when the surf is like mediocre. Then you got big days. You got to use. So I have a cache of bongs that I just
different occasions call for different tools.
One thing I don't like about bongs is you just like I like to taste the flower sometimes, but with a bong you just it's like you're burning it. You just all I taste is smoke.
I think I've been cranking a bong for so long that like I do taste everything. Like
I mean, maybe first hit, but like after it's just smoke.
Oh yeah, it's all snaps. Like it's one hitter all the way.
Yeah.
I never revisit the bowl a second time. It's always like I'll pack enough just to take that whole thing in one rip and then be done. Boop, done. Moving on. I like that shit. It's fucking the best way.
I have like one big bong, and then like this thing, and then a couple hand pipes. But I have this like really long glass Gandalf pipe, and then I have an actual wooden one that I ordered off of Lord of the Rings pipe site. I have like I have 2 from there. One is like this really long wooden Gandalf one, and another one's a shorter wood one. They're made for like tobacco and stuff, but I fucking used it for weed. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt really cool when I was in my backyard with my fucking Gandalf pipes. Like,
dude, I just got into Krang.
These fucking hobbits and their weed. It's fucking amazing.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
imagine
they know what's up.
Imagine cleaning it though.
I had the long fucking pipe cleaners.
Oh shit!
On the website, it came. They had the option buy extra long ones. I was like, bet, got those. That's the thing about the ones that go all crazy and wonky. Those are so hard to clean.
Yeah,
but
you gotta just soak them in alcohol. So I fucking got the Krang bowl in.
I saw that.
Bro, shout out to Space Glass. He's not gonna make them anymore. That's why I'm like, oh, hey, sign me up for one of those because it's kind of vintage. I love Ninja Turtles, so it was fucking perfect. How I got a Krang bowl finally.
Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant.
Oh man, he blew the Audrey, so like he's the man.
He blew your Audrey piece. That one is crazy. Have you ever seen that bong or that piece? It's like calling it bong seems almost like derogatory, yeah? A little bit.
It's a showpiece for sure.
Well, that one. I mean, even like these. This isn't a bong. That's not a bong.
I have a hookah at home,
like a legit one. Oh, that's dope.
Like, cause we actually, like back home, like smoking flavored. We don't smoke. Like we smoke the hookah with flavored tobacco, and it's like a social thing. Actually, you just like in the afternoon with our parents, or just if you go, there's coffee shops you go out and you order a hookah with your friends, kind of like how you're having a smoke sesh, but it's with a hookah.
And it's right in the middle and all the tubes.
Yep. I have a huge one at home.
Do you put weed in it? You smoke weed out of it? Oh.
No. I took it to the one of the cups, the jungle cup, with what's his name, Big Island. I bought a hookah with different, and I set it up for people, and people were just taking rips out of it, multiple rips and all that. It was just kind
It's
of
a cool
fun.
thing that you can just kind of keep throwing it on and with the coal, right, and just kind of keep it going. Or do you do that with? Can you do that with weed?
I mean, you can. It just won't taste good.
It won't taste. Yeah, it starts kind of tasting like the bong, but with the tobacco, with the flavored
flavor.
tobacco, because it's soaked in it's still kind of like bad. It's soaked in molasses, but it doesn't. You can tell when it like the whole thing starts getting burnt. And back home they even smoke tobacco, just regular tobacco, just wrapped around, and that's just very.
What if you set up a hookah with like a dab rig that came out of it somehow, and you could just fucking drop a dab on it and then take
totally
a hit
do
from
that.
the.
I'm gonna bring you my hookah, and you can turn it on.
Oh yeah.
Just gotta find the right connection piece. Just make it the right sizes, right?
14 mil, it's standard
On a hookah.
on this.
Oh,
They just find a joint that's 14 mil. Easy. The down stem and everything. It's totally.
that'd be pretty cool.
It's like I just fascinating to me, like with like so many different ways and so many different, like.
And even with this, like, there's so many different ways within the ways, because like, yeah, you can smoke it out of a pipe, but there's different pipes. There's all these different, like, there's bubblers, there's Sherlock Holmeses, there's Gandalfs, and
I want, like, I've never, like, one thing that I don't have is a chalice. Have you ever smoked out of a chalice?
not like a legit one.
Like a steam.
No, I've only had like a glass. Like I had a glass one that was shaped like it, but it wasn't an actual. Like you're talking about the one that's just like the cone.
No, it's like it's like a Jamaican origin, and it's made with a coconut,
Oh,
and they.
I was thinking of a chillum.
A chillum, sorry.
I was thinking a chillum.
Chillum,
No,
chillum.
chalice is, or I don't know.
No, it
Chalice
is.
is different than a chillum.
I know what chillum is. It's like a tube. It's just like kind of a cone. And you,
Maybe I'm saying
No.
it wrong.
No.
yes.
Chillum is like this. Let me show you.
No, I'm gonna Google it right now.
Hold on, I'll show you before you Google it so you
Okay.
know I'm right. Chillum is something that they hold like this,
Yeah.
and they pack it with hashish, and they smoke it.
Yeah, and it's shaped kind of tubular like a cone where it comes down and it's hollow, and you put it on the top, and you put a wet paper, usually a stone at the bottom, and you put a wet cloth. It's an Indian style of doing it.
No, it is a chalice. This
Yeah,
is a
no.
Jamaican chalice.
I've watched YouTube's videos of the guys who make them, and then they
That's
they,
Indian.
that's Jamaican,
It's
bro.
Jamaican, and they steam it. It's like I
It's
don't
almost
know.
like vaporizing the weed.
Yeah,
They put
yeah.
coals in it and do that instead
Well,
of
I seen
lighting
that
it.
on like in the Middle East where they have guys like that do the fresh sip hash, and then they have the coal and they lift it up right to like add
Oh yeah,
fresh
yeah,
air.
to get, yeah.
And
Yep.
then the draw just takes the
Yep.
smoke.
But I think they're using hashish, which is like the kind of like basically pressed, like rosin.
Yeah, you just get the dry sift and then they compress it in those bricks and then. Ding.
Bro, I've seen some videos of
Just,
hash
man,
production
you-
out of the Middle East, dude.
You remind me of something, because so hashish in Arabic is grass. So
Oh,
my dad
interesting.
one time, it's just literally grass. So one time, like my dad, like he speaks Arabic, he doesn't. So I don't know what he was telling me. He was asking me in Arabic, am I gonna cut the grass, or he wants to cut the grass? And he said like hashish, and our neighbor was like looked at us, and I was like, Dad, stop.
He's in it
I was like,
Yeah.
Dad, stop using the word hashish. I said, because people take it something there. Just say
Well,
grass.
So when they're saying hash, that's short for hashish. So like everyone's got it wrong. Sorry guys, it's not hash.
It's just a moniker, right?
It
But
is.
hashish, yeah, it is. It's used to be like how they used to press it
You
down
know,
and they just scrape it.
I have a theory. This is just my bro theory, is that some white dudes went over there and said, where we're from, we call this grass. And then they said, well, we call grass hashish. And they were like, let's fucking start calling it that. And they just
No,
rolled from there.
literally, that's what they told
For
me.
real?
For real, because I
Nailed it.
Bro theory.
I literally, I think it was in the
Bro etymology.
something. I nerded out on the history of weed and all that, but it was like literally someone like that had gone to Afghanistan
Miscommunication
or
kinda
whatever,
deal?
and they're like, oh, we, like, and there was there's like it's hashish for us because it's grass, and they're like, oh well, we call it grass too, so we're just gonna call it hash.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Well, Afghani weed
The
is
word-
fucking bananas.
The
It's
word-
the Hindu Kush.
the word assassin comes from
Ass
a clan back in the
and in.
days that would eat hash. Like the word assassin comes from hashashin, with like has the word hash in it, and
So-
that was like means hash eater. And
So
they
al-
would eat hash before they went into battle and went on to do shit. And it's supposed to give them like spiritual power and like magical powers. So they could,
Al-hashashin.
yeah, or that's how you pronounce it. Right.
They're actually
That's
they were in somewhere in, I cannot remember if it was Iran or some between Iran and like in that area in old days, but they were a group. And there's also even, you know how we're talking about spiritual mysticism, I think there's even use of cannabis in Sufism, and like which is like the kind of like it's a sect of Islam, but it's more like kind of like Kabbalism or whatever they call it. It's just
Huh.
It's like the
mystical
yeah.
mysticism. It's called the Sufi, but they also used to supposedly use cannabis to connect with the divine.
I think a lot of cultures used it in that way, and I forget who it was or his name, and I apologize, but we had him on when we did the expo like 2 years ago, and he was talking about how like the intention in growing and all this stuff, and like where the intention put into it. So like the Tibetans that grow weed is like they're growing it for a different purpose. So like the high you get from it is more spiritual and uplifting, as opposed to it being grown in a trap house where it's just being grown for money. Like it has
It's
that
a connection to your medicine.
Anything.
It has that in
Yeah.
it.
I agree, and that's why we were talking about how I was telling you, like outdoor. Yeah, I don't want the
That's
energy
true.
of a plant that's been, like told to do what it. I want something that's grown naturally and just
I'll try to change my opinion on that
gravitates
one.
towards the light.
I'll try.
Well,
more outdoor
scientifically, it
weed, guys.
justifies that theory, too, right?
Change
Like,
my mind. I'll sit at a table on a college campus and you can change my mind about indoor versus outdoor.
the trichomes itself is way more complex when it hits the sun versus
grown.
a light.
I mean, when we're talking
obvious.
about, like when growing and you talk about genetics, good genetics, or some plant is resilient or whatever, it's just how you're treating that plant and how even I was reading a study that all plants can actually see, not in the way that we see, but they
Right.
have receptors where they can tell, shade versus different, and they can
Yes.
tell,
Right, that's how sunflowers follow the sun.
That's
well, every plant,
do, yeah.
every plant, they try to follow the sun. That's why
leaves
one of the
lean.
things how we train our plants is because they try to follow the sun.
And too, like when the feeding regimen, because like the sun's light is in direct correlation with how the plant digests what it's uptaking to the roots, right? So if you got ample light, you'll see them like pray or taco up.
Yep,
and
prayer hands.
They're digesting everything you give them. And what you can prove with that is if you did a slurry test before and after, you'll notice a significant drop in parts per million because they're eating and digesting a lot more efficiently.
I've figured out what's going on. I just saw what happened.
They're
Turn
good.
the mic stand so that way one of the legs is pointed the same direction as the mic arm.
Balance.
The yin to the yang.
Sorry, I'm sorry I only realized it so late.
No, actually, two things are happening. The center peg was touching the ground over the leg. So, it
Oh,
was-
so it's wibble wobbly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that out on the fly. We're good.
Okay.
We should learn something from those plants. They always reach for the light, so we should always also reach for the light.
100% true.
Yeah.
Nothing
They're-
grows in the shade of something else.
Yeah, I was just thinking of the last episode where I said I heard this theory that when you die, going to the light is a trap. Like,
Yeah.
and all this theory of like you should go tell people telling you you should go to the light. Da 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 da. It's like the people telling you that, for one, have never been through it, so they don't know. And this guy or whatever, who I can't remember who it was, but it was theorizing that that's the cycle of rebirth and reincarnation, like going to the light and all those things. Like, come this way, it's just
Wasn't that
trickery.
me?
Because they feed off of our suffering, so they just want to suck you back into this realm of samsara, I guess, and just repeat it over and over.
I
It's
was,
like-
that is a very Western thing, by the way, about the light, the being going to the light and stuff. It's
Right.
a Western thing.
It's propaganda.
I
Spielberg.
watched,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
alien
yeah,
shit,
no,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah. A lot of it, because I watched like I think there was a physician and stuff like who did like research with near death experiences, people who actually had actual documented death, and like, and they talked about their experiences, and he interviewed, like, he did notice, like they said, and they did it like worldwide and stuff, and they said that they noticed that there was a difference between people who experienced near death experience in the westernized world, that they did see that light, versus someone, let's say an indigenous person in Brazil or whatever, that didn't grow up with that. They had a completely different, they felt that they were getting sucked into the forest and stuff like that, and or just being absorbed. So it was kind of curious,
and it's their beliefs and everything kind of justifies that too, right? It's like their postpartum ritual is like a postpartum mortality, your death ritual,
Whatever,
funeral ritual, whatever you want to call it. You being there, and they'd have the ceremony. That's probably like a reflection of what people would tell them, like, hey, we have to appease these gods because we're heading in this direction.
Or maybe the afterlife really is
what you make of it.
Yeah, it determines on what you believe. It's unique to the individual. Maybe,
or it could be human, like a body stimuli that just sets off when you have a near-death experience.
or maybe it's just the universe's way of making the transition easier. It's like, this is what you thought it was going to be. Well, let's give it to you. And then when you come to the other side, we'll show you what it's really like. And then, hey, if you want to go back for another ride, you can or not.
See, the way I think of it is, this life is an illusionary game. You know how you play a game and you pick a character?
Yeah.
Choose a character. You're this character in this life, but we get so sucked into that character that sometimes just like
we lose conscious of where we were.
Step back and
think we're
truly
the
see,
character.
am I the character or am I observing the character? That's how I cannabis, honestly, of a whole
You think you're Snake from fucking Metal Gear Solid, but you're just the
nobody really knows what
you're
it
just
is.
a spiritual being in this meat puppet body.
But I don't think like
that's the Men in Black theory, though.
I don't believe in hell, honestly, or heaven, or I don't think we cease to exist either.
100%. So reincarnation's a certain possibility.
I don't know what happens, but I mean, science tells us information can never be lost or destroyed. It's just recycled. It's just, this table was once a plant.
Tree.
It was a tree, and after, I don't know what it's gonna become after like its use, but it's always, we're always being recycled, or it's, I don't know. We still don't know why do we exist. We still don't know where our consciousness still lives also.
That's a deep one when you talk about consciousness. Like,
it is. Science hasn't still determined it, because our brain,
is our conscious just like learned behavior that's been stacked up over time that we call our conscious, like a morality, or is it just like an actual living
I think that's
conscious?
your ego that's you're talking about, because
makes you
that's the
think
ego that identifies with your lived experience. But life is truly just a game for us to experience it, and sometimes we take it too seriously, and sometimes we
Fuck yeah, we do.
I like to subscribe to the idea that, like, there's one universal consciousness, whatever you want to call it, and a piece of that is in every single one of us, and it's that thing's way of experiencing this experience as a human through the numerous different iterations of what it could look like. And that way, so like, really there's no difference between you and I
agree.
or you and I. We're all the same thing. It's just that piece of that thing that we all come from is in a meat sack shape like you or me, but like, it's all the same thing. We're all one. It's all like, even the animals too, that's all the same shit. But like, so my theory or my hope maybe is that, like, once this part is all over and the body is expired, all of that inside, all this consciousness, wherever it might be, just kind of reunites with all of that. And that thing is, whatever, omnipresent. It knows all. It's like fourth dimensional. It's all this kind of woo shit. So it's like, you kind of are that again for a little while. And then, like you said, pick your character. You get to decide. You want to do it again? You want to be a cat this time? You want to do that? I've heard many different theories about, like, the contracts you make when you reincarnate into this life and what you sign up for, and like, but then they wipe your memory, so you don't remember you did it. So you think like, why the fuck is this happening?
What did I sign?
Why to me? But really, it's for you because that's what you signed up for. You know what I mean? That's what you asked for.
I mean,
like this time set my level to super difficult. Like because you realize when you're back in this
So it's like a
universal
video game
oneness,
you're talking about, right?
when you're back in the universal consciousness, you realize that this is all fun and games. Like, dude, and it's a blink of an eye in the span of time of what really is infinite. So maybe you've done it. I mean, it's done it billions of times.
Can you gauge that
so
time,
you
though?
might pick the one where like, I like get shot this one. I like go to jail this one.
But then you run into that thing where like, can you justify time because your consciousness is wiped clean? So it's like, it's that theory is like,
time is an illusion, my friend.
But
time is in your head.
yeah, totally. But it's that illusion of like, if if no one remembers that you were here, were you ever here, right? So like, if you're like my consciousness wiped clean, how would you know about anything else?
But that's the thing. I think if like say I die and nobody remembers me, once I merge back to the consciousness, I realize it doesn't even fucking matter if people remember me because actually Kalei is me.
And in 100
Abby
years,
is me.
yeah, nobody's gonna remember you regardless. In 100 years from now,
fuck that.
Everything is, you know.
I'm gonna carve my face into the side of a mountain.
But I agree. Everyone is a reflection of you, and sometimes people come into your life to either highlight something that you've been running away from that you don't want to face, or something just to highlight something that you needed to know. I think the universe puts experiences in our life for a reason, you know. And whether some people believe in God, some people believe, but I do think there is something, like you said, that is just driving this consciousness and all that. And a lot of old philosophers and a lot of old religions do say the same message. And like Rumi, like he's a famous poet, you know, but he's also a Sufi, you know, mystic. But he says, you know, his famous quote, you know, you're not a drop in the ocean, you are the ocean. Right. So you go back to that universal consciousness.
You ever get into Ram Dass and listen to that kind of those I don't know what it is, that school, the Maharaji Neem Crowley Baba lineage?
I actually, you know, watched the movie Ram Dass. I didn't, you know, like know much about, you know, like stuff that spirituality, but just, you know, started getting into it and just through meditation, like I meditate and just these things that were just happening to me physiologically and stuff that I couldn't explain by science sometimes. So that's why I was like, there's something spiritual outside of us that just because science does not know how to measure it or explain it does not, you know, discount the validity of it, you know?
Science can like explain what we can observe. And that's about
and
it.
Reproduce.
Yes.
What is science? Science is an experiment. Is that you're able to reproduce replicate the same experience and come out with the same results. And that's what basically is the grounds of science. We say, oh, it's proven by evidence and all that. But also at the same time, you look at, you know, like concepts in quantum physics that goes like, you know, the outcome is really determined by the observer.
Totally.
And then that tells you, okay, well, that's what fucking manifestation is and energy work. And, you know, so it's like, where does science and spirituality converge?
I think that quantum physics can observe that and tie it into, you know, what we're talking about and relatively to our decision-making skills. I think that's the science in itself. You know what I mean? Like, shit, we're already doing that. Like, quantum physics just said, like, yeah, that's a thing.
Like, you know, when you think of like quantum physics, it literally breaks down like it looks like magic, you know, and it's just like ooh, they still don't understand it. But when you talk about like things like with spirituality, or people saying like, oh, I had a spiritual experience with cannabis or whatever, and people, you were just high. No. Don't discount it. It could have been, you know, but also I want to also say that cannabis can also lead to psychosis in some people. So there's
you know that
a fine line.
This one ex of mine would always bring that up. She wasn't the biggest fan that I smoked weed. And she was like from India, and she was just like, there was this kid that we grew up with that smoked weed and he axe murdered his mom. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, do you think I'm gonna fucking axe murder people? Like,
because like you said, people put their own, personal, like experience on it and all that. I don't think there's really any like something that's just like when people say, "Oh, I'm addicted," or like it's not the substance. It's really just your relationship with the substance and with the relationship with how you're processing,
And like
things.
back to the spiritual thing with cannabis too. Like you ever had the time where like you're driving or you're at the beach and you're sitting down and like you're stoned and then the sunset hits perfectly and you're like, wow, holy shit. Like that's that connection spiritually that cannabis kind of opens that door for.
It
Perspection.
slows you down. It helps you be mindful, live in the moment. You're like, that's why people are like, oh my God, look how beautiful these flowers are. Look how wonderful this food is, because you're taking the moment to be present. And
I was just gonna say,
and
be
you're
present.
like, wow. And
Yeah, I like that.
that's why I say medicate and meditate.
Be here
That's
now.
a good one. Yeah, we lose touch of that as we get older and we get stuck in the grind of things. We don't stop and smell the roses like that fucking cheesy saying is, And by doing that, I mean, it adds so much to your life to be like, I appreciate what I'm looking at right now.
You know what is kind of a cool thought experiment to try to run from time to time? I haven't done it in a while, but when you're driving around places you're already familiar with, try to like see them like, imagine if it was the first time you were driving down that street. You know what I mean? And see it like for people from fresh eyes perspective, like even like going through Waikiki and town and different places, just like all the places you see all the time and you just don't think twice about. It's just like, and I know I'm pointing out buildings and stuff, but even like the mountains. Like you have a nice, like you're saying, you get to drive on the H3, so every time you emerge from the tunnel, you get that nice view. It's like,
that's why I like driving people around.
I mean, sometimes it could be hazardous. You got to pay attention to the road, but it's like,
Man, I love that H3 drive. Every time I drive it, it's always just like, I don't know. It's just, and especially when because I don't know if
one of the most beautiful freeways ever.
But whenever I pop out on that Kaneohe side, even like coming down the Likelike, it's just like,
whoa.
It's like I really feel like just like
It's a beautiful place.
And I've lived there, like for 7 years. It still just brings me those ko'olaus, man, just have such a.
It's so sacred.
Such a like, I call them the magnificent mountains because they're so like beautiful.
Oh yeah.
When we were searching for houses, there was a couple on that side of the island. We ended up not getting them for whatever reason, but like, oh, dude, to have that, like, I remember we were talking about it. It's like, oh, imagine waking up to this, like, driving over this, coming home to this, like, it's so fucking nice.
I'm gonna show you a video.
Now we live in Eva Beach. It's all right.
I think every part of the island has its own beauty. Honestly, I really do. There were certain areas I personally don't like because I feel, I don't know, they're a little bit pretentious, like Hawaii Kai or Kailua sometimes. I feel it's just a little bit too pretentious to much, but like every side is like Wahiwa, for instance, reminds me of Beirut, where I grew up. Like when I go, like when I used to drive to one of the jobs I worked. And it just like every time I would be in Wahiwa, it just reminded me of Beirut because it just had like those small mom and pop shops and stuff, kind of similar to how I grew up.
I love Wahiwa. That's like a beautiful place for me.
That's why I say a lot of times on this podcast when we reference places, I throw the word beautiful in front of it. Even like when we used to have our studio in Waipahu, we were in beautiful Waipahu, and people were like, I don't know about that. It's like, well, every place has its beauty if you look for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man kind of put that cloud. Like Kailua is beautiful as fuck. Like it's gnarly, but everything else, like
it's so much in like
the people that went there. It's like, fuck, you just made this shit difficult, right? It's
but even still, you can still find the beauty, even though it's been adulterated and perversed and fucking gentrified.
Yes, it's like it's just like when I go to these areas, I just sense a different attitude from people that I'm not used to in other parts of the island.
Yeah.
For instance, my office was in Kalei or whatever. Kalei is one of the best places I love because people are so friendly and so nice. And it's got a mixture of like, and it's got working class and all that. And it's just, this is kind of like the environment I grew up in, kind of feel like how it is. Versus like Kailua, it's gentrified. It's got all the like millennial stuff. Just like it's more like catering to just that generation. And I was like, it doesn't resonate
It's
much
a
with me.
different demographic.
It's more consumer driven, like
Yeah.
buying stuff and just I'm like, I'm like I value more like I'd rather sit in nature and enjoy the beach and just enjoy, having talk with someone or whatever rather than just
The raw Hawaii, the like, no sugar coating. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I want. Simple Hawaii is like the best to me. This shit's so fucking sugar coated, bro.
Yeah. All right, we should probably wrap it up. We've been going for really long. It's late.
Yeah.
Actually, she's shaking his head, so let's keep going. Nah, let's go. So yeah, tell everybody where they can find you. Shout out your Instagram, your website, all that good stuff.
My website is www.pakallohacare.com, and it has all sorts of information. You can book an appointment. You can follow me on Instagram, Pakaloha Care Clinic. I'm gonna start doing more. I hate Instagram and stuff like that, but I need that in order to put all the good information that I have for people. So I'm working on doing that. I'm working also on a podcast specifically to just help, dismantle all the stigma about cannabis and just, provide more of a evidence-based, like, hey, did you know the recent study that shows cannabis helps with so-and-so? Like that kind of stuff I want to do. And I also want to do growing stuff. But they can go to the website. They can call the phone number, It's just me. They reach me. I don't have any secretary or anything. It's just me.
One man
Like,
show, man.
One man, woman show. So you can always reach me, and I can help people with the whole process. And like even for patients who already have cards, and let's say someone has a card but doesn't know how to use cannabis or having needs, I also offer follow-ups for that.
Nice.
And side job, I do on HMSA online. I do regular medicine for people non-cannabis related.
Oh yeah, like telehealth stuff or
Telehealth stuff for like people having like can't reach their PCP for something or whatever. They can just log in and find me, and that's covered by insurance.
Nice.
That's
And I think if you keep the sessions under 30 minutes or 30 minutes or less, they're free to the patient.
For HMSA online care, it depends on your plan. For MedQuest patients, it's free. For certain plans, it's also free, but the copay for the telehealth visits either $5 or $10.
Nice.
But
nice.
we don't get. I mean, it's not. They pay us.
Yeah, we know insurance.
Yeah. But
Well, right
yeah,
on.
I take new patients, and I'd appreciate any referrals.
Right on. So,
I appreciate you guys.
alrighty.
appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you for coming on. That was
That's
a
what's
really
up.
fun, long one.
Yeah.
It covered a great expanse of topics, so that's always fun.
Especially AI.
Yeah. Once these cameras off, I'm gonna tell the truth. No. What about you, Mr. Guru?
Check us out, Aloha Seed Vault. Check me out, The Grow Guru on IG and thegurusgrow.com. Get all your growing supplies and needs.
I get my supplies from him, and my plants do beautiful. And I get my supplies from Kalei. I love it because he delivers to my house, where I don't have to drive, and I also am supporting local, and I'm getting good organic products because it's important what you put in your medicine. Don't grow it with Miracle Grow.
Cut out the
please.
Don't
bullshit.
grow it with Miracle Grow. All right, Turtle Doves.
Thank you, guys.
Turtle Doves.
I don't have social media, so you don't have to come find me.
I can't hear you. I think you turned your mics down.
I'm anonymous.
I couldn't hear you, bro. All right, Mr. Bud Naked.
Find me at Turtle Doves.
Wait, no, we're still going. We got
Instagram.
our sponsors. At Turtle Doves. All right, and follow me on everywhere. Voices from the Planet and the Come Together Podcast Network, where you can all come together right now over me.
Shout out to our sponsors, Mills Nutrients. Come check them out. Mills Pays the Bills. Online, millspaysthebills.com, and IG, Mills Amsterdam.
Yep. Check out our next episode that will be releasing soon from the Full Moon Sesh, presented by Mills. Our other sponsors, Pakaloha Farmers. Check them out on Instagram. PakaloloFarmer.com. Do they have a .com? Yep, they got a .com.
Yep.
Check them out. Support local. The best shirts you'll ever find. They're so soft.
Speaking of shop local, Print Shops Hawaii. Check them out, Print Shops Hawaii. Dealing with everything, banners, flyers, stickers. Go hit them up. Check them out, Print Shops Hawaii on IG. And check out Jay on Hybrid Collective down in beautiful Wailea. He has heady rigs, affordable rigs. Whatever you guys need, he has all of your smoking accessories. Hit him up.
Yep, and Brutal Mars art or just Brutal Mars. Sorry, Brutal Mars. We'll get it right. I'm trying to remember. Brutal Mars for our logo. So if you're in the need of graphic design or logos, hit them up. And Meat Lux for all your specialty Wagyu meat.
Get your meat.
You eat meat?
Lux.
Me either.
I don't eat any kind of meat.
Me either. Cool. But yeah, Meat Lux has your meat. If you eat meat, which I know a lot of our viewers do, so go check them out.
Support
and
local.
Support local. Support Japan too, because I think that's where they get it from.
Yep.
But what is that? It?
Mhm.
That's it, right?
That's it, man.
All right.
job,
Thank you
buddy.
again. Thank you. That was an awesome
Thank you for
conversation. Very
That was a cool one.
informative and entertaining.